Heroes of Greyhawk is a game played by adults and recorded for an adult audience. Sometimes we use adult language and explore adult topics. Consider yourself warned.
Here we go. The mics are hot, and so are we. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Superior Adventures Guild. My name is Dave, your humble Dungeon Master host. And pal, we are going to be diving back into our ongoing adventures in the wonderful world of Greyhawk. There has been a little bit of a roster change up here, which you're going to notice in a minute. And we're excited about some new things that are coming in the future here. So stay tuned for some fun surprises on the way. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to change it over to this beautiful group of people. Hello, my friends sitting around this virtual tabletop. Thanks for being here.
Sup?
Hello.
So cool. God, you guys are cool. Wow. One thing that folks are going to notice right away is that Kirk isn't here. And yes, I brutally killed his character 2 weeks ago, and we've been grieving ever since. But yes, Kirk had to, for other reasons, step away from the game. He will be back in the future. I have no doubts in my mind, because you can't keep a player like that away from the table. And we miss you, Kirk. If you're watching, I think he said he's going to be jumping into the chat tonight. So hopefully we'll see him. But we do love you, Kirk, and we're excited to see where your new adventures take you, and we'll be excited to see you come back too. So we miss you, buddy, already. I think the method acting is working. It's getting hot in here. I'm getting all misty. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go around the virtual tabletop. We're gonna introduce ourselves, because that's what we do. I want my friends to be able to tell you who they are, where you can find them, and who they're playing. And actually, we didn't do our warm-up question, so we'll do a warm-up question live this time. So the question is, this is gonna get the tears going. What is it that your character will miss most about Nulb? God, I'm a dick. And we're going to start with Ashley.
Oh man, what would Xanthe miss most? She was kind of working with him to like embrace his nature, right? Like she had told him that like this rage could be a gift and he could use it to help others, and it got him killed. And so that's a problem, and I'm sure isn't gonna affect her emotionally at all. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, I guess we're going to find out how this affects everybody, because it's a big change. And yeah. Wow. Okay. Thanks, Ashley. Let's jump over to Andy. Andy, tell us who you are, where we can find you, what's going on, and then who you're playing. And yeah, what is Desmond going to miss most about his old pal Nulb?
What's up, everybody? It is Andy G3D here on Twitch and on our Discord server, but my name is just Andy. Yeah. Let's see, tonight I'm playing Dez. He is now a 3rd level arcane trickster rogue and just amped up to have spells. What is he gonna miss most about Nulb? I think one of the things he found most annoying about Nulb was Nulb kind of always
this isn't a roast,
trying to find the the positive in people, like the people they would meet and the people they would fight. And at first that annoyed Des, but after a while it kind of made him think a little bit. So I think that's what he'll probably miss, is Nulb kind of reminding him that maybe not everybody's bad.
The humanity.
Mm-hmm.
The humanity. I love it. I'm getting sad here, guys. Let's jump over to Christian before things get really, really sorrowful here. Hi, Christian.
Yeah, kick it over to the guy called
The
Bleak
bleak
season
season.
to avoid the.
To cheer it up a bit. Take it up a notch. Wow.
Yeah, I am a Bleak Season. You can find me at the Bleak Season on Twitter. Check out my website, bleakseason.com, for all things Shadesong. I'm playing Lachlan Feldspar, 3rd level now, Storm Cleric, who has been Norb's longest serving companion in some ways. And I do have some ideas about how he'll be handling his death, but I think that the thing Lachlan will miss most, of course, is Norb's intellect and his knowledge, and the fact that you could always count on Norb to kind of have an interesting, different take on what was going on. And he was someone who clearly, I think perhaps, as Des said a little bit, saw the good in things and the good in people. And it reminded Lachlan often that, nice things can just be simple and nice and friendly. And you don't always need to, electrocute people with lightning from your god. So I'll certainly miss that part of him, that sort of more intellectual side and knowledgeable side, and plus the fact he was going to teach me how to read, and now he's gone. So
Yeah. Yep. You're gonna have to find a different way to legitimatize your literacy. There we go.
Litercize myself.
Yeah.
I will need to litercize myself.
Literally.
Give me
Yes,
some.
too bad. No one
literacy.
else in the party reads.
Is that true?
Well,
No.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
He's been
Absolutely not.
Journaling like every night.
Well,
Des
that's
is
doodling.
super
I thought she
smart.
was
yeah, but
doodling.
I gotta get over Norb. I'll come to you eventually. You gotta give me a little bit of time.
Yeah,
to,
wait till Ashley's character is killed, and then we can talk, and then we can roast her. I love how Andy flips it around. You know what I found annoying? But then you brought it all back. You brought it back around, man. That was beautiful. That was really.
Yeah.
Hey, look, everybody knows me. I'm Dave. I play games, produce games, run games here on Guild Spear. This is one of my favorite games that I get to play in with my friends here. I'm gonna miss one of the things I'm gonna miss about Norb the most, I think, is just the level of naivete that he sort of exuded as well. Like with that trust of people, I think it was just kind of a cool element. And I know that it was a little frustrating probably for your characters that he wouldn't necessarily like stand up for himself in the beginning days. I thought that was kind of an interesting approach to take for that character. And man, right when he was starting to let loose, he got killed by whatever the hell that was in Lareth's head, which is kind of creepy. Hey, we've got some announcements to make. Big shout out, my friends, to our campaign sponsors over at CZRPG. They're still sponsoring us after everything that's happened. Norb's horrendous murder, the scandal behind something. I don't know. Is there any scandal? Not really. But anyways, the point is they're still here. They're with us. And tonight, my friends, we have a giveaway, a donation that they have made graciously for our giveaway. It is called the Forgotten Citadel. In order to enter to win, ! Drawing. Kirk will show you. Sorry, Andy will show you how to do it. God damn, Kirk. Andy will show you how to do it.
That caught me in the feels. That caught me right there.
I know.
Whew. All right, what am I doing now?
That's what we're here
Drawing.
for.
Can't
Exclamation
type
mark
here.
drawing to get in on the action.
God, that's so hard. How did he do that for so
I
long?
don't know. He was well trained. We'll just put it that way. The Forgotten Citadel is amazing. It is a 17-page PDF with a great artwork, really nicely laid out. You know how CZRPG does it. High-end production value, a location with a bunch of lore, encounters that are fully detailed, new stat blocks, custom artwork, and so many freaking maps. These guys are nuts with the maps. It's filthy with maps, this
Freaking
thing.
maps.
It's
Filthy
filthy with
maps.
freaking
Freaking
maps.
maps.
Yo. Anyways, that was terrible. I don't know what that was.
Forget about it.
Yeah,
Filthy is
somebody,
what it
Forget
was.
about it.
somebody click
Forget
that,
about it.
please. Anyways,
Hey,
we're
I
going to
live
give this
in
thing
Brooklyn.
away at the end of the stream tonight. Drawing to win. Hang out, stick around, come back at the end if you need to step away. We totally get it. But anyways, we want you to win, so go ahead and enter to do so. I also want to raise people's awareness to GaryCon. I don't know if anybody is going to GaryCon, but I'm going to GaryCon, and I am extremely excited about it. GaryCon is coming up at the end of the month. I'm looking, there we go. I'm looking for our little graphic. Look at this thing. How beautiful is that artwork for GaryCon 15? Is that, that's it? GaryCon, March 23rd to March 26th. We are helping to spread the word and promote this awesome event. There's going to be a bunch of in-person games and events. Plus, there's a whole virtual aspect to it. There's a link that's going to go into the chat right now. Wiley Hobbit's going to be there. I mean, Doc Shoulder's going to be there. Vamp Wickman's going to be there. Phantom NJ is going to be there. Carl's going to be there. Does anybody know Carl? Yes, you do. You just don't know you know Carl. They're all going to be there. And this isn't a conference for Garys, by the way. This is a conference for D&D.
And as opposed to what I thought, it's not in Gary, Indiana.
No, it's not. It's in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. The birthplace, they say, of Dungeons and Dragons.
Mistake.
Yep.
Honest mistake.
So go check out the link. Vamp Wickman's going to be working there, so you know it's going to be on point. This is the be-all and end-all of conferences. I don't know if that's true, but it's canon now. Ashley's going to go.
Am I?
Ashley and Shelly are carpooling down. Road trip.
I'm pretty sure Shelly's still on a different trip.
Shelly. All right. Well, anyways, we hope that you'll be there in spirit. Yeah, someday we'll all be there. Anyways, you guys check it out. The link's in the chat. It's really a fun event. It was kind of my first con, to be honest with you, for games like this, and it was amazing. So anyways, there you go. We've got a bunch of stuff coming up, you guys, on the Guild channel here. And my friend Bleak Season's going to help lay it out for you.
I will lay it out like a wrestler bringing the smackdown on his enemy. We do have a bunch of stuff. We have tomorrow a special one-shot, Their Fangs Mean Blood, GM'd by Chris Hislop of a Roll Together RPG. It was a very fun, queer, vampire, pirate, what we do in the shadows, their flag means death kind of tongue-in-cheek thing. A lot of fun to shoot that. It will be broadcast tomorrow at 8 Eastern, 7 CT. On Thursday, we have Shadesong Part 2 of the new Shadesong story, The Wreckage of Stars, with, again, a great bunch of players in there. And that's at 7 CT, 8 Eastern tomorrow with Andy right here producing. On Friday, we have a Guild Adjacent, as both Dave and I will be in a cult game that I will be running over on our friend Darling Creepshow's channel. There'll be a 9 Eastern, and that's for mature audiences. It's going to get real dark real quick. And on Sunday next week, we have the Mothership back again for more creepy crawly action up on some asteroid somewhere in the middle of nowhere with DM Dave at the controls. And finally, Monday, we continue our new of Arden 4-part series with game. I always want to say Game Master Ty, but it's
Dungeon Mr. Ty.
Dungeon Mr. Ty. I always want to say Game Mr. Ty.
It's a beautiful man. Great hair.
Yeah, exactly. Brand new New of Arden series, part 2 of 4, Monday with another great group of players. And we are rolling and trucking on. And then next Tuesday, back right here.
Right here? Right here?
Right here, right now. Right now.
Okay. Thank you, Christian, for laying that out. That's a lot of stuff. How do we do this? I don't know, but we do it. And we oftentimes will have people from our Discord join us for some of these games. So I'm going to put the Discord link in the chat, just letting you know you are invited to come on over to our house and hang out with us. What's ours is yours. What's yours is ours. No, that's not how it works, but come over and hang out with us. You know how it goes. A couple of other quick shout outs that I want to make. First of all, see that logo above our heads? Yeah, that logo was created by our friends over at Trixie Wizard, Aaron and Adam. Awesome people. Check out their stuff. I just dropped their Twitter link in the chat. With your help through the cheering and that sort of thing and subs, we're able to work with our friends in the artistic community and hire them to do stuff like that. So if you hung out with us for the, virtual Greyhawk Con, is that what we just did? No, the Mega Stream fundraiser. I'm so confused because there's so much going on. But Jose did some art for that. He also did some custom character art for this group that we haven't yet released, but is coming soon. So get ready for that. It's really, really awesome. And then really quick, I want to give a shout out to my friend Scott Wiley Hobbit, who he and Mateus have this awesome podcast called The Greycast. It's so good. You guys check it out. Lots of good Greyhawk lore and content there. And then thank you to Anna B. Meyer for all of the awesome artwork that she's done for the mapping for the world of Greyhawk. It's absolutely fantastic. And here's a little tidbit about GaryCon is that Anna is going to be sitting at my table while I run a group of 10 people through the Curse of Strahd in one sitting. It's going to be crazy. Literally looking forward to that. Andy, you should be there. You're a veteran Strahdy.
Are you just going to start him in the castle?
I have a plan. I'll tell you about it after the stream. I have a bit of a plan, but it's going to be kind of interesting. Nuts. Yeah, it's going to be soup nuts.
It's going to be crazy.
Soup to nuts. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Do we have any other announcements? Does anybody else know if we have announcements? Anyone?
No. Do you want to talk about Morkborg or keep that under?
Yeah, no. We have a Morkborg game coming up. Thanks for the reminder. That's it's on the 15th of March. It's called the Ides of Morkborg. And Dungeon Mr. Ty is going to be running that. And we've got a bunch of fun people lined up to play in that, which we'll tell you a little bit more once we get, we're already getting close, but we'll tell you in a little bit about that. Dungeon Mr. Ty is going to be running. I'm very, very excited. So that's on the 15th. That's a Wednesday, 7 to 10 p.m. Central Time. I do believe all that stuff is probably going to be posted on our Twitter or something at some point. Hey, Pixie Lady, thanks for diving in.
You.
We've got an advantage right out of the gate for our friends. We haven't even started yet, but thank you for that support.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.
Maybe now we'll live through whatever Dave has planned this time.
Oh, man. One other announcement that we should probably make is that, Andy mentioned that he's level 3 now. We did level up over the last week after defeating Lareth. If you didn't see what happened last week, go back. It's VOD. Check it out. Hey, thanks. Oh, T-Cat, thank you so much. One for the Dungeon Master. Yeah.
You betrayer.
Yeah. So I'm talking about, all right, enough chibber chabber. Let's get into a quick recap from last week. A quick but important recap, you guys, because in the last session, our heroes' adventures in the Moat House ruins culminated with a perilous battle against Lareth the Beautiful and the unsettling Arachnith force that empowered his leadership amongst the humanoid races that he had rallied to his cause. You had encountered some of these, the Gnolls, for example, goblins, and wicked men. Our heroes fought valiantly against Lareth, putting down a quite sizable force of guards and soldiers that he had defending him. You then put down the seed of power deep within the Moat House, this Lareth villain, but you lost one of your own in the process, Nulb Nair. In his heroic last stand, Nulb fought to protect his companions against a monstrous spider-like creature that sprang from Lareth's head upon his demise. Indeed, Nulb brought his friends precious moments, falling in battle while setting the stage for Desmond and Xanthi and Lachlan to cut down the evil. Sadly, unable to recover your friend's body amidst the flames that were raging within the chamber, Xanthi and Desmond pulled Lachlan's unconscious body to a resting place within the dungeon to avoid further conflict. In your weakened state, you hid and hoped. You regained a bit of strength. Lachlan came to consciousness. You crept through the dungeon, backtracking your way through the corridors and attempting to reach the body of your lost companion, but you were turned back by the thick smoke that was now filling the dungeon. So with no other choice, you traversed the labyrinthine corridors. You found that portcullis that had been opened perhaps by the gnolls that you had let leave, no longer barring your way to the surface. You scrambled with the smoke now stinging your lungs and following you through the chambers. You emerge into the ogre's chambers, gasping for air and turning to seal the secret door and the smoldering evil below. You pulled yourselves forward to the stairs, you climbed upwards, and you reached the main chambers of the Moat House ruins. And this is where you collapsed, teary-eyed from the smoke and from the sorrow of Nulb's loss. In the hours that followed, you were discovered by an unlikely trio. Narf, the ornery gnome you'd freed earlier that day, Elmo, the surprisingly capable would-be adventurer from Hamlet, and an awkward magician and friend named Spugnoir. Intent on backing you up in your quest, Elmo and Spug had journeyed from Hamlet, hoping to find you. What they found was this grouchy gnome, Narf, with a tall tale of escape from the Moat House ruins. Compelled by Elmo to help, Narf led those two to the Moat House ruins and ultimately to where you were essentially kind of passed out or exhausted and collapsed within the Moat House chambers. Weary and grief-stricken, Elmo convinced you to be rid of the Moat House, lest reinforcements of gnolls and wicked men might bear down and snuff you out for good in your weakened state. So you decided to follow that suggestion. Shocked at Norb's loss, Spugnoir was sobbing. He mourned just alongside you, but followed your lead as if in a bit of a trance. You traveled as far from the moat house as your legs could carry you for the rest of that afternoon and into the evening. And the remainder of the day, you made camp in a concealed copse of scrawny oaks at the edge of the marshland, and you rested. Some of you collapsing from exhaustion, while others were plotting your next move, a journey to Nulb to seek out Jeru's companion, a half-elven druid named Shiral, who might be in danger and who herself might know something about the elemental assassin that had made an attempt on Ashtath's life, and possibly other things. You camped together, mostly in silence, each of you dealing with Norb's death in your own way. Too weary to set watch, you left yourselves in the hands of Elmo, Spug, and Narf. And in the morning, you're weary, rested. And because this is Dungeons & Dragons, you're also level 3, which is kind of cool. You ate a hearty breakfast of salted rabbit, hard-boiled eggs, quail eggs, wood sorrel, some blueberries, just to kind of make it healthy. Lingering for the better part of the morning, Elmo marked a path on your map through the gnarly forest. Direct route, though dangerous, to Nulb. With his duty in Hamlet and the protection of the alien druid, Elmo gave you each 2 days' rations, and each of you a water skin. He passed Desmond a wineskin, and with a forced smile adds, "To soak your sorrows, my friend." And that's where you all stand, ready to part ways and continue north towards Nulb. With Narf at his side, Elmo shoulders his pack, looks at you with a forced grin, readying himself to depart. My friends, what do you say? What do you do as you stand on the roads, facing your companions and plotting your next move? Well, you've got the map, you've got your path ahead of you. This is Elmo speaking to you. It's for us to return to Hamlet and do what we can to rebuild and protect Jeru and the others. What will you do once you get to Nulb? How will you seek out the druid?
I don't know, but sorry, go ahead.
I think that's a good idea. We wanted to help Jeru, and we can't do something for everything, but we can do what we can. Just make the best of it.
And we can't thank you enough for saving our bacon back there. I think we could have gotten out of there alive if it wasn't for the lot of you coming down, so thank you.
Yeah, well, you did save my scrawny hide from the depths of that ogre's belly, so we'll call it even then.
I told you it was dangerous.
Yeah, you weren't wrong.
I certainly, if you're heading back to Hamlet, I certainly would be careful about telling people that this place has been cleaned out, because it might encourage some people to come in here to hunt for treasures when this place is still full of dangers. So I certainly would advise
and spiders.
People to, yeah, and I certainly would advise people steer clear of it, at least until a proper cleansing of the place can be done.
Is there a message you wish me to bring to Rufus, to Nevitz, or Jeru, or the others?
We couldn't find the men. And also, let them know that this building is full of spiders. So many spiders.
And the one they call the beautiful bastard Lareth is dead.
Didn't we hear that they brought the men to Nulb?
I honestly don't remember that. I thought they were just dead.
The two Burns Badgers, you overheard when you were hiding in the tick room, if you recall. You overheard those guys that you ended up killing later, that they had said that they dispatched to Nulb and to sort of warn that they'd been discovered, but that those two Badgers had been taken.
Okay. So we'll look for them also while we're in Nulb, but you can tell them Lareth's dead. Oh, and if you run across a shoeless bastard named Brock, he's one of the bandits. Throw his ass in jail.
Brock, you say? I'll keep an eye out for a shoeless Brock.
I mean, he might get shoes later too, so just, I guess, Brock.
Shit. He's gonna be hard to find then.
Harder with the shoes, yes.
How about you, Spug Noir? Are you okay? I know you were very fond of Nulb.
I still can't quite accept that he's gone. But, yeah, I'm gonna miss him. Look, if it's all the same to you, and Elmo, I would like to continue on with you to Nulb and be of service and help. I mean, I know, Desmond, you had said that you would help me, find my spell book, or at least we could look for it. And
that's right.
If it had anything to do with those ruffians that I was traveling with, or the musicians that passed through, perhaps they're in Nulb. I can't do much in Hamlet anymore, and plus I'm kind of out of funds. But I want to be useful, and I can help you learn, some of the magic skills that you're trying to learn. And if you would have me, I would be helpful. I promise I won't be a hindrance. I won't be a liability. I'll pull my weight.
Well, Spug, Nor was very fond of you, and he always said that it might be something we should consider someday, taking you on and bringing you along. You need to know that the road that we're on is probably going to be very dangerous. One thing that we did learn in this moat house is just how dangerous things can be out here. So you should be aware of that, and you should be, fully cognizant of the fact that there are some threats out here that are, well, perhaps more dangerous than we might expect, but that's okay with you. I, for one, I'll look at my two companions. I, for one, would be happy to have you along. What do you think?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, and reach into my thing and I'll pull out 10 gold. Norb wanted you to have this, and I'll give him the 10 gold.
Oh, thank you. I would use it to give him a proper burial, but...
No, that's taken care of. Don't worry about it. He wanted you to, he said, Lachlan, tell good old Spug Noir that if he can't find his new spellbook, and he should work at making a new one. And sometimes you lose things, and you just have to pick yourself up and start making a new one, and you can use these funds to start making it. So, there you go.
That sounds like something he'd say, and then he'd probably follow it up with a big hug.
Yeah, we can't pay you, but we could split anything we find 4 ways.
He did ask that Dez give the hugs for him. So Dez, if you would, and I point to Spug Noir. Remember?
Oh,
Norb
that's so
said
sweet.
All right, come here.
Oh,
I'll give Spug a hug.
He kind of tentatively a Spug hug. He kind of tentatively just does this on your back, but then he just kind of slides.
Mine is equally as awkward.
Yeah, but then he slides his arms around and just kind of holds you there.
Is he crying?
All right.
A little bit.
All right. You're
gotta be strong.
Be all right there,
I gotta be strong. Thank you. Thank you, Desmond. Then he pats you on the back and just takes his glasses off. Oh, God. All right, I gotta be strong. Come on, Spuggy. Well, then I'll take your message back to Hamlet, and I'll let Rufus know, and Byrne, whenever Byrne returns from his trip to Verbo, let them know what happened.
Might not be a bad idea for the Badgers to come out here and do a thorough cleaning of the place.
Last I heard, there was a small contingent dispatched from Verbo. So hopefully we'll have some reinforcements to be able to hold down Hamlet. There hasn't been any trouble in the last couple of days, which is good, but we're in a weakened state. but I'll relay the message.
Well, it sounded like Lareth was in charge of the gnolls and the goblins and some of the bandits and spiders. So maybe without him there, they won't be organized. So you might be safe for a little while.
Did when you fought him, did he say anything or why or what he was trying to accomplish? Is he banditry? It seems like a lot of effort for simple highway robbery.
He seemed like a zealot. He was praying a lot.
What I was going to ask Dave if I could make some sort of religion roll to see if I knew anything about what Lolth or what he was doing, or even if it's not Lolth itself, but like kind of get an idea that he was some sort of priest and involved in some sort of priest shenaniganries.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and make a religion check for me.
$17.19.
Oh yeah, definitely. Based on the prayer that you were hearing bits and pieces of that he was saying, some of the words he was using, talking about the Spider Queen, it definitely gave you Lolth vibes, and that he was, a zealot or an adherent or possibly a priest. I'm trying to remember if he used any specific priestly powers, but I think you would have gotten definitely a cleric vibe from him.
Okay. So I'll say there are, in the deep, dark places, there are gods, perhaps, or ancient, powerful beings that exist, and they attract the attention of those seeking easy paths or quick paths to power. One of these is the Spider Queen. She has many names, but the Spider Queen is one of them, and this Lareth happened, or at least appeared to be some sort of acolyte of hers, perhaps a priest. He was either perhaps serving out the Spider Queen's agenda or his own agenda, but it was certainly something beyond mere banditry. He certainly appeared to be some sort of zealot and certainly had a bigger plan in mind. I wouldn't be surprised if, even though Lareth is gone, we might hear some more about other of his ilk in the near future. So it would be good to at least make sure that this place is cleaned out and that an eye is kept out for more of this sort of evil emanating throughout the land.
Wait, so is it a Spider Queen or is it a Spider God?
She's known as the Spider Queen. She's not a spider god. I'm not super well versed in that particular god's lore, but the spiders are her servants, and in some ways the manifestation of her power on this world, the same way the lightning, for example, is the manifestation of the Stormcrow, my god. She uses spiders, which would account for the rather disgusting lot of spiders that we encountered in that place, especially near the end there, that big one, and then those
he turned into a spider after I stabbed him.
Exactly. So that would
turned
seem
into
to me
a spider, you say?
Yeah, I killed him.
I mean,
it would be a divine favor of some sort for sure.
I've only heard, the tales to sort of scare the children, to stay in bed at night, of this Spider Queen in a place that I think is referred to as the Underdark, but men transforming into spiders, well, that's something entirely different. I'll make sure to relay that message to...
That is what happened, right?
That is unnatural. Jeru will want to know this. Jeru will want to know this. This is not natural.
Well, Lachlan, I'm really glad that the Stormcrow doesn't use spiders, because can you imagine if spiders just rained from the sky?
I'm pretty safe to say that if the Stormcrow was all about spiders, he and him would not be on the same wavelength. It wouldn't work. So, yay lightning. Right. Well, unless there's anything else that you two can think of that we need to inform the village about, we'll certainly plan to return, Elmo, as soon as we've made contact with Giroux's friend and perhaps try to manage to find the 2 missing rangers. We'll plan to be back in Hamlet, but do keep an eye out. Most Gondar's evil afoot.
Well, I don't know if you've ever been to Nulb, but watch your backs while you're there. I've heard tale of people being robbed or worse, disappearing. It is a crossroads sort of town, but being so close to the river like that, the Immerdy's Run, I mean, it's bound to be
scum and villainy.
Yeah, you'll never find a more wretched hive. That's what I've heard, anyways. So be careful. I'd hate to get any bad news from Nulb about you. I feel like I can call you friends after what we've been through.
I would say that if 2 or 3 weeks pass and you've not heard from us, you can probably assume the worst.
I mean, that's practical.
Thanks for the map.
Maybe wait another week.
If we're not back in 3 weeks, wait longer.
That makes a lot of sense.
All right, then. Time's a wasting.
Good luck to you.
To hit the road.
He reaches out and shakes each of your hands. You can see Narf just kind of like pacing back and forth. None of that sounds good. Damn it. You guys be careful. I might be an ornery little gnome, but I can see when I've got a group of good people standing in front of me. It makes me a little upset stomach kind of thing, but y'all are pretty damn good, I can tell. So good luck. Thanks for getting my ass out of there. You're not so bad
yourself.
Nah, you don't know me that well
we're glad you
yet.
didn't get eaten by the ogre.
Yeah, I mean, let's be fair. I wouldn't have been much of a meal, a little more of an hors d'oeuvre before those 2 human fellas got eaten. But nevertheless, thanks for helping a gnome out.
Anytime. Thanks for being here to help us after we made it out of the moat house.
Hey, you know what? Hold on, miss. And he takes off, he looks down his hand, he pulls a ring off of his finger, and he hands it over to you, Xanthi. Hold on to this, and if you ever find yourself in the Cron Hills, you know, surrounded by a bunch of angry gnomes, well, you just show them this ring and tell them Narf gave it to you, and, well, they might look kindly upon you.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. Thank you. She takes the ring.
What a sweetheart.
You know, I almost got eaten by that ogre as well.
Well, we're kindred spirits, it sounds like. A lot alike, you and I.
I think so too.
You glow at night too. Anyways,
Sorry?
Nothing. We should be on our way before the glow of sunlight fades, is what I was saying.
Safe travels.
Thank you. You ready, Spug?
Yeah, I'm ready to go off on another adventure.
Just so you know, Spug, we usually don't get to sleep nights. There's usually gnolls that wake us up. Just so you know, just if it happens, it's normal.
Well,
It's hard to get good sleep out here.
I've stood up against gnolls now. I feel pretty confident.
You have any weapons, Spug?
Oh, yeah, I got a dagger. Pulls it out. It's super dull.
Mm-hmm.
What's your specialty? Like, how do you fight?
Badly.
I mean, I'm not really a fighter, but you know, more like kind of support, I guess. But I can learn. I mean, you are all great fighters, and maybe you can sort of like, you know, teach me how to use this thing.
I'll take the dagger from him. I'll
We'll
take
show
the
you a
dagger
move.
from him. Sorry, go ahead.
We'll show you a move or two.
That'd be great.
And I'll take the dagger from him. I'll sharpen this, but I'm going to tell you something. Lachlan becomes there's a notch of intensity that shows up. I'm going to tell you one thing. One of the reasons Norb died back there is because we told him a million times to equip himself and to learn how to fight, and he wouldn't do it. Don't be like that. We're telling you this is dangerous. You need to learn. You need to equip yourself. You need to learn how to use your equipment. If you're not going to help yourself, we're not going to be able to help you. All right? Is that clear?
Crystal clear. Yep. He looks kind of scared a little bit.
And if you feel like you're in... Sorry, go ahead.
And if you think you're going to die, run.
That's what I was going to say.
That's why we're best friends.
Run. Just run.
Okay.
On the road,
we'll
I'll use my smithing talents on the road to kind of fix up and sharpen his dagger and make it, a bit more roadworthy.
Appreciate that. All right. Elmo and Narf. Later, guys.
Bye. Have a safe trip.
Good luck, they say as they are walking away. This kind of tall human ranger and this little ornery gnome just kind of wandering south on the high road back towards Hamlet as the four of you now stand on the road, turning to look to the north. And you can see the road rises as it heads to the north. You have pretty good views because it's still kind of marsh/grassland, but up ahead, a couple miles in the distance, you can see the green sea of trees that you know to be the gnarly forest.
Well, we have a bit of a trek in front of us. We should probably go.
Right.
Yes, Elmo marked it on this map, and she pulls out the map again that she's been navigating with. So if we go this way, it's very short. I don't know why there's this long way around it when it's just like a direct route. But we've got a quick little jaunt over to Nulb.
By the looks of the map that you are becoming quite good at reading, it's approximately like a 3-day trip to get to Nulb from where you are. Assuming, all the best things happen while you're in this gnarly forest.
What could go wrong?
It looks totally safe, doesn't it?
Yeah. Shelter. Looks sheltered.
Wily Hobbit says it's going to be fine, so I believe him.
Yeah, he would know. All right, so you head out on the north road and you continue to the north, walking along. I didn't mean to cut you off, Ashley. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Lachlan, do you have like a way to detect magic on things? Like ritually?
Yep, I do.
We've got a bunch of stuff that, if
Thanks, Wiley.
we had stopped at some point, it would have been good. Or maybe we can do it in the future. Just to figure out what, if anything, we have, I should try to identify.
Sounds good. I can do my part. We should, perhaps when we stop for camp tonight, we'll make a little pile of the things we think we should take a look at, and we can start doing that in the evenings. Sounds good.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll do it later.
Do you want me to do a Smith's Tools check for the dagger, or is that kosher? We're just gonna...
Oh, you mean to sharpen it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can sharpen it up. You could probably sharpen it while you're walking, no problem, without having any problem, and then you can hand it back to Spug.
Fix his handle a little bit, put some extra leather, and just, kind of spruce it up a bit.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. And I promise, I fully intend to defend myself, and I'm not going to back down. I'm not going to back down.
That's good. Dez is pretty handy with a knife. He can probably show you a couple things.
I'll show you where to stick them.
Okay.
He peels a mean apple.
Very effective. If you do it just right.
Between the ribs.
So as the four of you continue walking, the terrain grows less damp in terms of like this marsh kind of recedes as you head up into this sort of grassy area, kind of akin to the area where you were when I think you guys encountered a griffin at one point that Nulb gave a big hug to unexpectedly. Yeah, good old Nulb.
He was a hugger.
Goddamn, we miss you. I'd pour one out for you, but I'd make a mess in my office here. My dungeon office. So you continue up, and it gets sort of hilly, right? And there's like these granitic outcrops that sort of pierce through this thick grassland type habitat. And you get closer and closer, eventually getting to the edge of the forest. And you can see this dense woodland that has maples and birches. It's dominated by oaks that have these massive twisted trunks. And I mean, that's what gives this forest its distinctive name, the Gnarly Forest. Hey, Raiders, welcome in. We're about to enter into the Gnarly Forest. Thanks to Blue Box RPG for diving in here, you guys. Thank you so much. Let's give them a quick shout out. Blue Box. If you're not following Blue Box RPG, what the heck are you doing? They're awesome.
What are you even doing?
Good people. And thank you all for joining us. We are entering the gnarly forest here. So obviously the distinctive name are these massive gnarled and twisted oak trees. Every once in a while you see sort of a scraggly pine tree. A lot of this fall foliage is either past its peak color or leaves have already sort of fallen to the ground. So there's sort of this dry leaf litter on the trail. It does not look very heavily traveled, which is one of the first things you notice as you enter into this space. The trees look ancient, like they've been growing for centuries, and you can hear birds singing and flitting through the trees, some of them coming down like chickadees to sort of look at you curiously and then fly off. Hawks kind of fly through the canopy hunting small rodents and that sort of thing. It seems very much like alive and lush. And you find yourself just surrounded by these towering oaks that stretch high into the sky. And you continue into this terrain and it just kind of rolls its way. And you make your way for a couple of hours, and the past midday you stop, you take a lunch and a water break, and Spud takes off his boots and he's rubbing his feet and sort of rubbing out some of the soreness. You can see his feet are a little red, but he seems to be in pretty good spirits at this point, maybe having put a little bit of the loss of Nulb behind him for the moment while he's working hard to be strong, essentially. And eventually you guys come to the evening, and the sun is going down, and in the forest it gets dark earlier, right? Because you can't necessarily see the horizon. So the shadows grow long, and it starts to look as though perhaps it would be a good time to look for a camping spot. But before you do that, I would love one of you to roll a d12 for me. Let's go Xanthi this time.
All right.
Don't fail us.
8.
Okay. So, as I mentioned, it's getting dark. The shadows are long. You can tell that it's going to be fairly dark under this canopy soon. What would you like to do?
Well, I don't know that we should really make a fire, because that went really badly for us last time.
And the time before that. And the time before that.
But we have coffee, and we can share that, and we can, I can heat up anybody's food if you would like, with magic.
That sounds cool.
Can we look for an appropriate camping spot somewhere just off the road a little bit where we'll kind of be hidden? I don't know if there's water nearby or just.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
So those are some good specifics. If someone wants to roll a survival check, see if you can find a perfect spot that has maybe close to water, a little bit of concealment, not too far from the trail, that kind of thing.
Can I help Andy?
Yeah, you could help him. Sure.
All right.
Absolutely.
Ugh. Not the greatest. Oh, 11.
Okay. Yeah, you don't find like an established used site. So sometimes in these travels, you'll find an old ring of rocks that indicates that there was a campfire there. You don't see any of that, and that's not surprising. This place is not very well traveled. But there are stones. You can set up your own fire ring if you want to have a fire and all that good stuff. You do find an opening. That's not a problem. You find a spot where you can set up camp, but it doesn't feel like it's very well concealed. And you don't, you're not sure about water. You might have to go out searching to see if you can find some water. Hey, Phantom, welcome in. Good luck in the drawing.
Xanthi is going to walk around the camp area, and she's going to use prestidigitation to create kind of like a smell screen, like something a little pungent, maybe like lemongrass, to hopefully throw off any gnolls that might be coming by that might be following our scent.
Okay. And remind me, how long does that last for? Is it like a long period of time?
Let me see. It is. It can last an hour.
Okay, that's pretty sweet.
So she'll do it a couple of times just to kind of evaporate our scent. And also lemon, like most like dogs and cats and things, they don't like lemon.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, my recollection of the monster manual is like gnolls do not like lemon scent.
Is that's in the monster manual?
I think it is. Yeah, that's
Nice.
good.
Wow,
Dave,
we need to start carrying lemons with us.
Did you say
Gnolls
there
are
was
scurvy.
Did you say there was no water source near here?
Not that you're aware of. You could go looking for one, but there's not like a readily available water source that you've seen as you were getting to this campsite.
We got a
certainly
couple
go
of water
looking.
skins from Elmo, so we can probably
We have the coffee.
forego tonight, and then tomorrow we can while on the road we can look for.
Wait, did you say coffee? You have coffee?
Oh, get a load of this.
Check
We'll
this
show
out.
them the
You know-
carafe.
Some people say that coffee is dehydrating, but that is a myth.
Yeah.
So
And
drink all you want.
It's made from
Yeah.
water.
and the life with us on the road may be very dangerous, but it does have its perks.
I mean,
pull out the carafe of unending coffee.
I love coffee, but I'd hate to drink the last of it.
Don't
Oh,
worry.
you can
you
try.
don't need to worry about that.
What do you mean? Oh,
Just check it out.
he
Pour
opens
yourself
it
a
up.
nice big cup.
Big steaming tin cup that he has of coffee. Just, the steam coming off of it, and it smells good.
There are
it's
people who
great.
adventure their whole lives, kill dragons, loot hordes of treasure, and never find anything as absolutely amazing as this carafe.
So it always has coffee in it.
It never runs out.
That's amazing. I mean, you could retire from adventuring now, and you could start a coffee shop.
Run a coffee shop, yeah.
We're on top of that. Xanthi's designing the logo, and as soon as that's done, we're
Wow.
settling down.
Maybe I could work as like a barista for you guys if things go well.
We'll consider it.
Yeah,
Show me your,
if that happens.
how are your feet doing? You hurting? You
Perfect. No, they're good. Never been better.
You want to pile out the stuff that we got, Xanthi, so we can take a look at it? And I can't do anything tonight because I hadn't prepared the spell, but tomorrow I will, and we can start checking these things out.
Well, I mean, I could cast it if we're going to sleep anyway. So Xanthi will spread out all of the random loot that we received in the moat house and just see if anything glows.
What do you tell me? Remind me what you're looking at, because
Smug Noir glows.
Yeah, there's a few things.
yeah.
Yeah. So she will put out the fancy jeweled handled dagger from the snake room that
Gotcha.
Nulb had on his person. Let's see. We also got a beautiful silver and gemstone bracelet from the
Ooh.
bugbears. I don't know if Des or Lachlan want to put out stuff that they have on their persons. But
I have
let's
a
see.
bat. I have a bat, I think, that I will put out.
A golden bat trinket with arcane markings.
Yep.
Ooh,
From the
that's
bugbears.
right. That was inside the stuffed teddy bear.
Yep.
There is also a wooden inlaid box, size of a cigar box that looks valuable, and 4 crystal goblets from the bandit bunk room.
None of that stuff, although that stuff looks to be quite valuable, none of it glows or gives off a magical essence.
What about that mask that I found?
Oh yeah, that creepy mask.
A mask with string to hold it on, human-like.
Human-like mask in the bugbear room.
Human-like. Also not magical, but it looks like it does, upon further examination, look as though it is a very disgusting human skin masquerade mask.
Oh,
Wow.
what did they do with this? I don't even want to know.
Did we put Norb's fancy jeweled handled dagger in there?
That was
And
what he
the
got. He got
silver
that in the
wall
snake room.
sconce from upstairs.
Yep, none of that stuff is magical. It all looks very it all looks very valuable though.
Okay, how about that one big jewel that we found? It was like a brownish jewel gemstone, I think it was. Oh, and we found purple arrows.
Arrows with purple fletching.
Yeah, those glow. How many were there again?
4.
I think there was a those
4.
those are
Three,
those
3 or
glow
4.
with magical essence.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where'd you get those from?
For all intents and purposes, they are +1 arrows.
Nice. There was a chain shirt that Deza collected for some bandits, but it's probably not.
If I get my short bow back, I can probably use those arrows. Or just get a new one.
Cool.
You guys have a lot of loot.
Yeah.
I imagine you
we
have
need
it
to hit
separated up amongst the 3 of you because that's a lot to carry. But
Yep.
we're not tracking it that close. But yeah, you probably want to at least find somewhere to fence some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Did I use the identify on the +1 arrows?
On the arrows, yep.
Okay. I will mark it used.
Hey, Cardman's in the drawing. Everybody can go home.
We know who's winning.
Um,
Just kidding. It's fair.
Was there
Good to see you,
there's a
Cardman.
book, right, that we'd gotten off of Norb? Who got that, and is it being produced, or what's the deal?
Oh, yeah, there is a book in here. What's the book?
Is this the book that Norb had?
Yeah.
The one that he was writing?
He said there was a book, and we don't know anything about it. So I grabbed his pack, so I had it. And
I remember him mentioning it. I think that was the book that he was keeping notes on as he was writing his sort of manuscript, maybe, or travelogue or something of that nature. A guide to the knolls of Verbobonk or something.
Oh, this looks like his travel journal. Oh, that's really sad.
Well, let's keep it, and maybe someday we can find a way to use it to immortalize Norb and his quest for knowledge.
Okay.
Do you think
Right.
Norb had like family or something that like we should notify, or how does that?
Well, I don't know. And Xanthe will take the book out and she'll page to the very first page, and look to see if he has an address, or if lost, please return to.
It definitely has that. If lost, please return to Norb Nire.
Does it have an address?
Inn of the Welcome Wench. And
Yeah,
but that's
the
at the
Welcome
bottom of a list of
Ah.
things that are scratched out. Like there's a bunch of names of places, like
Ah.
other places he's stayed on the Wild Coast, but no names of anybody.
Oh, it looks like he's actually been to quite a few places.
He was a well-traveled man.
What's the first one?
The first one is probably. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. As I'm looking up my notes from Nulb, I didn't expect this question, so give me 1 second. That is
deep lore
that's a
dive
deep
there.
Yeah. He would have come through. Narwhal would be one that would be on the early ends of the list that you can read. Narwhal.
It looks like maybe he started out somewhere near Narwhal. I mean, if we ever get there, we could ask. Maybe he does have family, but
I'm not sure I know where that is.
do any of us know where that is?
Yeah, so definitely Lachlan. Lachlan, you came from the like Blue Bay, Safeton area, didn't you? So you would have traveled through Narwhal on your journey to Hamlet. I think you're muted.
Sorry, I was muted. I was banhammering. Yeah, I think I know the place. It's down by the coast somewhere. Well, let's keep it, and then we'll see what we can do with it at some point, perhaps, I guess. If I ever head back that way, I can maybe take it with me.
I mean, that does kind of beg a question. You all know that I'm from the Free City of Greyhawk, and you know that Lulu owns a cartography shop there, so like you know that is who you would tell if I died. But I don't actually know. Lachlan, where are you from? Do you have anybody back home?
Yeah, I guess if I were to be sent on to my just rewards, as they say, you could send word to my mother in Blue Bay. Agnes Feldspar. I'd appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely.
If ever that does happen, I'll pull out my little piece of, stone with the engraving. If you could send this to her, I would appreciate it. But you, Des?
Family. Well, I don't know if my parents are still alive. I don't think my mother died. I don't think my father's alive anymore. I might have a brother floating around Nulb, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
we should look him up.
We'll see. It's been a long time.
Did you take any time while we were in Hamlet to go look up records and such about your family?
I mean, I don't think there are much records-wise in that little town.
Did you talk to anyone? Did anyone recognize the name or know anything?
Yeah, the woman at the temple. What was her name? Melva? Melba?
Mm-hmm. Melda.
She knew my family.
Oh, did you talk to her?
A little bit. There
Was
wasn't
the
much of a
woman who
chance
said
to
that
look
you
her up
was
after the
Melva
attack.
the woman that said that you looked like Jonathan?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she knew your family. Is Jonathan your family?
Yeah, he's my dad.
He's your dad? Why didn't you say anything? I just stood there and you didn't say anything, and I was...
I don't... where I ended up, it's better if people don't know who you are. If you don't want them to know who you are. I didn't know what I was dealing with in Hamlet yet, so...
I suppose, I mean, do you think that the person is still after you? You know?
Yeah, probably. I took something they wanted.
Do you still have it?
Yeah. Well, you could say that. And you feel a little like flick of your hair.
What was that?
It's my other hand.
You have 3 hands?
Yeah, you could say it like that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much.
That's weird.
Do you still have detect magic up?
I don't know. Has it been 10 minutes?
Probably has, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, probably has.
Oh.
I mean, pretty much. It's like a hand I can move around, and that's how I shove people and pull them out of trouble.
Well, that is handy.
Yeah.
Well,
That something you learned on your own, or was it taught to you?
It's something I came across, like an item that enabled me to do it.
and so if this guy shows up and says, like, I want that back, is that possible?
I don't think I can give it back anymore.
Is he
It
gonna
kind of
say, "Hand it
disappeared on
back"?
me. It's just
Like it was
just
consumed when you used it, sort of thing?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, basically. It
Oh,
disappeared.
man.
I don't know what happened to it. And then I was able to just do those things. It's weird. But I
mean, that's
imagine
pretty cool.
it was probably... I didn't know what it was when it was a ring. I found a ring. I put it on. When I woke up, it wasn't there anymore. And then strange things started happening.
Oh. Okay. Well,
Who is this
So-
person that you took this from?
Well, I don't know. The guy that came looking for it was pretty bad, though. He killed my friend. Well, I don't know if we were real friends, but business partners.
What kind of business?
He would find work for me and my friends. And he was an older thief, basically, that couldn't really do as much as he used to, so he was kind of a middleman.
Well,
but we are all bettering ourselves and helping
Right.
people now.
I mean, you guys are
so-
heroes.
I mean, I wasn't.
Right?
I didn't steal food from people. I didn't go around hurting people or anything like that before. But
your friend got hurt
yeah,
because of something that you stole.
yeah, pretty much. They were looking for me, and you wouldn't tell them where I was.
That's a pretty good friend.
Yeah, it's something we all would have done for each other. That's just the life.
I hope that some of the
Generally, if someone comes around asking questions, you deny, play dumb until you know what's going on.
I do hope that some of these aspects of your former life are truly well behind you.
I don't really feel the need to do that stuff anymore.
I would hope so. Let me tell you this. If you ever feel the need to do that stuff again, come and see me. If you're lacking in food and shelter and money for anything, I will give it to you.
I mean, that's what it was. It was trying to survive.
I get that.
But I'm
saying
doing
you
all
don't
right
need
now.
to do that anymore. And if ever you feel the urge, come and talk to me first.
All right.
I mean, by the looks of everything that you just laid out to examine, you've got a fortune. You'll never have to want for anything again, and you've got unlimited coffee.
Right, and it just
You got a
cost
point
one
there.
person's life.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, if y'all want to turn in, I'm happy to take the first watch. Or if you want to keep chatting, I'm happy to take the last watch.
I could sleep, I guess. She's gonna, Xanthi's gonna go around and just make sure that like everybody's blankets are warm. Using prestidigitation, she's just kind of gonna warm everything up.
I want to go camping with Xanthi.
Yeah.
Since we're not using a fire, and just make sure it's dry. And
oh, you guys did not build a fire?
No.
Okay.
I just snuggle up to the carafe.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, there's a chill in the air. You know, this is like getting into sort of the late fall time. With, as I mentioned, like the leaves are starting to fall from the trees and that sort of thing. So there's a nip, but it sounds like you've got pre-warmed bedrolls, which is nice.
Xanthi, before you go to bed, could I bother you for a piece of that paper you have in one of your writing implements?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Are you going to write the letter home?
No, I'm going to... Well, I'll show you in the morning.
All right. I mean, I like to journal too. I can show you sometime if you like. By the way, the address of the cartography shop is on the very first page. I didn't get to say that.
Awesome. Make sure Des knows.
I'll rip out a piece of paper from the very end of the book, and I'll hand him some of my writing tools. You can see like there's a very nice kind of assortment of chalks and graphites and stuff.
Very impressive. I'll randomly pick one.
Xanthi will snuggle up in her bed, and then she will like inch like a little bit closer to Des because she still feels terrible about almost dying 2 days ago.
You could use your spell there to warm up some rocks and put them in your sleeping bag at the bottom where your feet are. It'll keep you warm.
Oh, it lasts for an hour, but it only lasts for an hour.
Well, you'll have time to fall asleep. So while they sleep, I'll keep watch. And I want to just start drawing. I want to try to use my knowledge of blacksmithing and whatnot. I want to try to design something for later, but some sort of box that I could build where we could build a fire inside and it would prevent the light kind of from shining out, but we could still get some heat from the outside and around it kind of thing. So I'm just going to start sketching that out and getting some ideas of something like that.
Sure. Give me a Smith's Tools check with intelligence as the base attribute. So it's an intelligence check with your proficiency for Smith's Tools.
15 plus my proficiency, so 19 total.
Yeah, I would say you kind of have like one success towards designing this implement. Very cool idea.
Somewhere.
Yeah, keep track of that.
Yeah. And otherwise, I'll keep an eye out and You know, have some coffee. Not too much because I want to sleep when it's my turn.
Okay. Give me a perception check, Lachlan, as the others drift off to sleep and you stay awake, doing your design work.
Sorry, I was just writing my notes so I don't forget. You asked for a perception. Well,
Thank you, Barry Kirmingham.
17 plus 5, so 22.
Okay.
What
You hear something throughout your watch that is somewhat soothing almost. It's an owl hooting, somewhat distant at first, but over the course of your watch, a couple hours pass, and you can hear the hoot a little bit closer, or perhaps it was a second owl responding. It's not quite clear. You're not really an ornithologist by training or anything like that. Do you have nature as a trained skill? Just out of curiosity.
I do not think so. I don't.
Okay. So yeah, you're not sure, what kind of owl it is or anything like that, but you do hear the owl hooting in the distance in the early part, and then later on in the evening during your watch, you hear it closer to your campsite. Probably still a good solid 100 feet away. Hard to tell in a dense forest, but that would be an estimate for you.
Okay. I mean,
nothing else. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say the second time I hear it, I'll probably stop whatever I'm doing and kind of pay attention, just in case it's someone signaling to someone. That's sort of where my brain goes on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll just sort of start paying more attention just to.
What was your perception check?
I was 22.
Oh yeah, you don't get the sense that it's someone intimidating an owl. Listen, owl, I'll tell you what to do. No, imitating an owl.
I'll kick your ass.
Yeah, start hooting now. You don't get a sense that it's an imitator. I almost said it again. It's an owl, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. Clumsily. Yeah, but you don't, through the rest of your watch, you watch, there's no fire to watch. It's cold. You do feel a chill as the wind kind of picks up, and you can hear the dried leaves rustling in the oaks. Oaks tend to hold on to their leaves longer than some of the other trees, so they're kind of crunchy and crispy, but they make noise as the wind blows through them. You might hear, the crunching of something running through the leaves at periods during the night nearby, but it might startle you a little bit, but you essentially write it off as just small animals kind of scurrying about, voles and mice and that sort of thing. Nothing accosts you in the night or springs on you, so you don't have anything that really sets you off. And eventually you come to a point where you're starting to get pretty sleepy.
Yeah. So when that happens, I'm going to briefly consider waking Zancy, just because I think I have some questions for her, but I'm kind of tired, and I think it's probably better if she gets a full night so she can take the last run. So I'm gonna go and wake up Dez. I'll wake him up by bringing in some coffee right under his nose.
Oh, what's that?
It's your wake up call.
I'm up. Is it my turn?
Yeah. And kick Xanthi awake for the third shift. I don't think we want to leave Spug Noir alone for now, but perhaps another night we can have him stay up with one of us just to, get a sense for it. Nothing to report. I heard an owl.
All right.
That was about it. It's around there, maybe 100 to 150 feet that way.
Yeah,
if you get attacked by an owl, that would be it.
Giant owl comes swooping out of the tree. I hope all those gnolls are gone.
Yeah, well, it's pretty quiet. I think it should be fine. If you don't feel like looking up your brother once we get in Nulb, you're not obligated to. It's totally up to you. But if you want to, we'll hunt him down while we're there. Just gotta sort out.
No, I would like to look him up. I mean, before I got to Hamlet, I thought they were all dead. To be honest, so it was a bit of a surprise to find out that he might still be alive.
How did you find out?
From Melda.
Okay.
She had heard news, but
What was
Didn't know
Melda
much.
so
Just
connected to
heard
your family?
word. She knew
Or
my
she-
mother.
Okay. All right, well, we'll go back to Hamlet at some point also, so we can look for more. But for now, I'm gonna go dream of the wedge and the wonderful omelets they made there, and
Oh,
a
yeah.
warm fireplace.
Could use one of those right now.
Yep.
All right.
I'm gonna grab my blanket and dig in and go to sleep.
You fall asleep quite quickly, actually, despite the copious amounts of coffee that you've had. You know how to gauge your coffee intake, and you fall asleep really quickly. I mean, it's been another big day of travel after everything else that happened with the battle and everything, and just the exhaustion finally catching up with you. And Desmond, you take over. Is there anything that you want to try to accomplish during your watch?
No, not really, I guess. He's gonna spend some time looking at this knife, this dagger of his that feels so strange. Just kind of like looking at it in the firelight and kind of fidgeting with it, and just kind of thinking about Nulb and if there was anything they could have done. But yeah, other than that, he's just sitting by the fire thinking.
Do you think there was something that you could have done?
I mean, Des, just thinks that maybe if he had done something quicker, if he could have gotten to Lareth faster than he did. But Nulb was so far away from him when it happened, when he went down. I think he's sort of missing Nulb more than he thought he would.
Give me a wisdom saving throw as you're looking at this dagger, thinking of the death that has transpired over the last couple of days, the moat house, the abandoned farmhouse, the attack on Hamlet.
13.
As you're considering all that's happened and you're holding the knife out and sort of looking at it, not really examining it necessarily, but you're kind of turning it and letting the fire glow glint. Oh, no, you don't have a fire, do you?
Oh, that's right. We don't.
Yeah,
have
you
a
don't
fire,
have a fire.
sorry.
Well, maybe you started a fire.
Maybe the moonlight or something. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll say that Des started a fire because that's cooler.
Okay.
So you see the fire glinting off the steel, right? Mm-hmm. The illumination, and suddenly you see. At first, you don't believe your eyes, but you see a face in the blade itself, contorted, almost as if expressing horrible pain, horrible suffering. You hear nothing, but the mouth is open as if screaming or calling. And you flip the blade over and look at the other side of the blade, and there's a different face. Same thing, distorted face, not monstrous distorted, but distorted as if in like agony. As if someone who's being stabbed to death somehow now expressing their horror at their own life force being drained by this blade, perhaps in the blade itself. And you kind of feel
two faces, yeah, but different faces.
Different faces.
Like, okay, right.
Does Desmond recognize any of those faces, or
would he recognize any of the faces? I don't know.
Roll a d20.
All right. 19.
Yeah, you do. You recognize the face of one of the individuals, It is one of the guards that you killed in the moat house with this dagger. And it's sort of the last sort of glimpse of their face that you saw when you plunged your dagger into them and then continue to push through them. Their face kind of howling in pain and shock and fear. And give me a D4 roll.
I think Des is just kind of sitting there staring at it kind of wide-eyed because he's so surprised at what's happening, I guess. 3.
Okay. As you're staring at it, you make this recognition of this individual's face on the blade. There's no explanation for it at all. Suddenly you feel this intense pain in your own head. You take 3 psychic damage, and almost immediately your campfire is blown out. The fire is completely extinguished, and everything is completely dark.
Oh, he's gonna drop the knife at the dagger at that point.
You instinctively pick it back up.
Uh-oh.
Well, it was nice while it lasted.
I'm gonna throw it down again.
You can't help yourself but go pick it back up. You're not sure why you have a compulsion to just hold on to this thing. Even though you know in your heart of hearts, like there's something really messed up with this thing, with this dagger, this blade.
Oh, damn it.
But you do feel like the residual like ringing in your head from this intense pain that you just took, that psychic damage that you just took. What do you do with the rest of your watch?
He's pacing around. He's like pacing back and forth, kind of like muttering to himself, cursing himself for ever going near that farmhouse.
Oh, God, that was a bad move for you. Yeah.
And because this is where the dagger came from, right?
You're damn right. Yeah.
No, well, I mean, that's what Xanthi said, but she didn't give it to you.
Do you relight the fire?
I think he's too freaked out.
Yeah, I'm kind of freaked out myself. I'm not even there.
So he's just kind of, I guess, yeah, he'll eventually try to relight the fire.
Yeah, no problem. You can get it lit
out in the dark.
Yeah. You can't see the stars. The canopy, even though a lot of the leaves have fallen, the canopy, these trees are massive. You are in the heart of the gnarly forest. And even though like on the map that I have up on the screen right now, it sort of looks like it's an open grassland area. That's all forest in there. I just didn't add in all the trees. Those trees are just for sort of style. But it's a thick forest in here. So you relight the fire, and hashtag double cursed.
Twice cursed, Des. Your luck is bound to change eventually. Damn it. I'm going to try to throw the knife down again.
You're able to throw it. You drop it down, but you immediately walk over.
Hit it.
Yeah, you walk over and pick it back up. I would say that sort of based on the wisdom save and based on what's happening, you start to almost like self-justify, like explain, and justify, like, okay, fine, but this thing is important and like I'm really good with it, and you start to kind of rationalize. That's the word I was looking for. You start to rationalize your desire to keep this thing, even though on the other side that it's probably bad news. Yeah. But you look at the blade, you don't see any faces at the moment. So that's good.
All right.
I mean, you can't leave it on the ground in the forest for like some random kid to pick up.
That's right.
Good.
I don't think you can
give it to Spug.
Period.
Yeah,
give it to Spug. That's right. Give it to the mage.
Is there anything else that you would desire to do with your watch?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Nothing at the moment.
All right, so you wake Xanthi.
Yeah, I'll go wake
Take the
Xanthi.
final watch of the night.
Are you still playing with that dagger I gave you? It was really good, right?
Yeah, I don't know if you'd. Yeah, I mean it's very powerful.
I know it. Like when I identified it, it was like +1, I think. So that's like
+1.
it's magic.
+1. +1 what?
I don't know. Like that's what they
does
just
it-
say. It's like the
Does it make you luckier?
yeah,
+1
like
dagger in your inventory.
one luckier than if it wasn't magic.
So it is magic.
I mean, I don't know a lot about it, but you know, I can tell that it's magic, and it's like it's really good for fighting.
Do you think there's a chance that it might not be a necessarily good type of magic?
How do you tell?
I don't know, I get this feeling about it. I've seen things on the blade. Kind of
Like what kind of things?
like one of the bandits that I killed.
What do you mean?
I saw his face,
Like in like etching?
No, like I was looking in a mirror almost. But it was his face and he was in pain and dying.
Are you feeling okay, Des? I mean, you did kill a
don't-
lot of people.
I don't know. Maybe I just need to go to sleep. I think there's something off about this dagger, Xanthi.
Can I look at it?
Can I give it to her? I don't-
You can, but you're hesitant to.
It doesn't feel right to give it to you.
Do you think it'll get bad magic on me?
It's like I don't want to let go of it. But I also don't want you to feel like you can't let go of it.
Oh. Well, maybe if you just hold it and I can look at it again.
All right, but we should be careful. I think something's off with it.
Can I
Fucking
inspect
awesome
it again?
Don't get me
And-
wrong. This thing really does some damage.
Are you like showing off now a little bit?
Now I'm like flipping it around.
Yeah.
Catch it with my mage hand above my head.
Oh.
I've been practicing.
That's
that one.
awesome.
The third hand. Oh.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I can. Oh man, what would it be? I have Arcana. That I'm proficient in.
What are you? Let me ask you this. Instead of thinking about the role for the moment, what are you trying to do? What do you want to do? What do you want to know? What do you want to learn? What's the?
I want to know the school of magic. And if there's anything weird, like can I tell? Like, one, do I see anybody's faces? You know, two, like, would I be able to tell if something's cursed if somebody like says this is cursed? Would I get any kind of hint or flavor, or does it just look like a regular dagger?
It looks like a really nice dagger, and you already know that it's magic.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not from your, I can't remember what you rolled on your Arcana check when you identified it.
Bad.
But yeah. So you know that there's magic essence to it, but you're not sure exactly the nature of it. Roll an insight check.
Okay.
Desmond, what's
gonna roll real bad.
what's your charisma score?
You mean my dump stat?
Yeah.
like the 14.
Okay.
Even the real dice hate me. I rolled a 2, 4, 5.
I mean, you take Desmond's word at face value. Like he thinks this dagger is really great. He's reluctant to hand it to you, and maybe there's, he must have a reason for that. He's your friend, you trust him.
Okay. I don't think it's cursed though. I think he thinks it's dangerous or something.
Yeah, I mean he's proven that it is. He's murdered dudes with it. So yeah, it's definitely dangerous.
Okay. Am I thinking more like Des just like he's real stressed out, maybe he's seeing things, or like do I believe
you guys
him?
have been through a lot.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen this kind of dagger before. But I don't really know anything about it. I mean, we did take it off a bad dude.
Wasn't it in the farmer's house?
Oh, wait. No, you're right. I think that was in a trunk. No, I don't know anything about it.
It was in the guy's sock drawer.
I think it was in
That
the
guy's
loft.
so fucked up. That farmer
It was in his bedroom, right?
If he wasn't dead, I'd kill him.
Yeah, that was a really bad trip for you.
Now I got this dagger. All right. It'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Well,
It's
maybe we could ask somebody who knows more about the magic than I do. Maybe Spug, he knows something about it. We could ask him about the magic, the type of magic it is. Maybe tomorrow morning.
And maybe he knows something about curses. I already kind of asked him though.
Well, when we get to Nulb, we could see if we can find a cleric who's like a better cleric than the one they had in Homeland.
Right. That guy.
He just wanted money.
I know. Can you believe he hit me up for like 100 gold when I went in there asking for help?
It did seem a little questionable, but when you're the only church in town, who else do you go to?
All right. I guess I'll go to bed.
Okay. Feel better. I hope that maybe this is all just because you're tired.
All right. We'll keep an eye on it.
Okay. Let me know if anything changes.
I will.
And Xanthi will pull out her journal, and she is going to try to write down the events of the moat house in the journal. There's a long, she hasn't had any chance to, mention the snake or the frogs or, anything. It has been just a blur and exhaustion and being terrified and, trying to sleep in a dangerous environment for days.
Yeah, you just kind of unload on all of that into your journal over the course of your watch. Give me a perception check at disadvantage, since you are engrossed in your journaling.
22.
Damn, with disadvantage? Wow.
Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. Nope.
Oh, okay.
Let me,
it'll still probably be I'm sure it'll still be high. You have awesome.
Yeah, we'll wait. I'm waiting for that other 2. Nope, still good. All right, 18.
That's still really good.
Still really good.
So you also hear the hoot of an owl kind of nearby. And then as well as some of the maybe small animals moving amongst the leaf litter, crunching through. And it sounds, how when you're camping, it sounds like it's something big, but then you see a little mouse run by, and you're like, okay, it's just a mouse. You hear, as you are continuing to journal, you look up as you hear in the distance, like thunder, just sort of just this thunder in the distance. Not close. You don't see any lightning. I mean, you can't see the sky. You just hear it, the auditory association with that thunder. And you continue your
Stormlord,
watch.
are you there? She just softly says.
Well, it's funny that you asked that question. Lachlan, while you rest, weary from the battles, plural, that you've had over the last few days, the loss of your friend, the escape from the moat house, the fact that you yourself had been rendered unconscious at least once, maybe a couple times, I can't quite recall, but you had been near death, I guess is the point, right, of this. And you had come close to the edge. You had implored the Stormcrow to help you and your friends in a time of need. Your eyes flutter open, and you are now standing in this desolate landscape, this vast, desolate landscape. There are dark clouds that are gathering around you. The trees are gone. It's just this vast open plain. But you look down and you can see that you're standing in this water that extends in all directions for as far as you can see. You sense that there is this storm building around you. You look up, you see lightning flash across the sky. You feel, and as much as you hear the thunder crashing like right on top of you, swirling clouds are illuminated by more lightning arcs across the sky, more thunder. It's like it's coming almost from within you as much as it's coming from without. A powerful bolt of lightning streaks across the sky and impacts some sort of a structure on the horizon. It looks like perhaps some sort of tower, maybe some sort of cylindrical pillar of rock, perhaps. The sky erupts in this deluge of rain, just downpour falling on you, soaking you. You look down and you see the water at your feet starting to rise. It deepens, engulfing your ankles and your calves, growing deeper as it gets to your knees. And as the water reaches to your waist, you start to realize your fate. All around you, this vast sea of dark water rising to meet you. What do you do at this moment?
Do I see any sort of land, like perhaps in the direction of that tower that I just saw or something like that?
You don't see land, but you did definitely see this lightning arc across the sky and impact some sort of a pillar, some sort of upright structure.
Well, I'm going to start pedaling for that. I will, wade on as best as I can, and then if ever it becomes too deep, I will start swimming for this. I do have a question for you. Am I in a, oh, what the fuck, how did I get here? Or am I in a, this totally makes sense, I'm in some weird dream kind of thing? Like, what's my state of mind on this?
What do you think Lachlan's state of mind would be?
I'm gonna go ahead and say that one, he probably hasn't had many of these things happen to him, but he also really, since that first time on the boat where he misread the sign that he felt had been sent to him, he's definitely been paying attention and has known, like, if ever it happens again, I'm gonna try to do it right this time, sort of thing. So he's probably like, all right, well, this is either nothing or it's a thing, so I might as well act like it's a thing in case it is a thing, and so I think he's just gonna sort of buy into it and just think that there's some sort of plan or design behind this, not fear that he's really drowning in water, so he's gonna start swimming up ahead and try to get towards that rocky thingamabobber.
Okay. Yeah, you start to wade through the water, pushing through it as it continues to rise, and another flash of lightning across the sky, and suddenly you see him. this dark-skinned, man-like feature, hair of running water standing before you. You recognize almost immediately the figure's penetrating eyes and stoic gaze. Tall and imposing, this figure is dressed in dark robes and is gripping a staff encrusted with barnacles. There's a black iridescent crow perched on one shoulder, just staring at you, its head just kind of looking at you inquisitively. This individual's lips do not move, but you hear a deep voice. I have heard your voice calling to me for some time. Did I not pluck you from the waters once before? Tell me, dwarf, why do you call upon my blessings? What is it that you would ask of me now that I stand before you?
Stormcrow, understand when I call on your name, I do it not for me, but I do it for my companions and for those in need. If in a moment of distress in that moat house, I called your name, it was because I feared for them, not for myself. I would never assume that one such as you would really take notice of one such as I, but I can at least find it in myself to ask for my friends. And so if I've reached out to you and called out to you is because I think my friends are in danger or hurting, need direction, need help, need protection.
What makes you think that I should care about these friends? What is so special about your quest?
There's nothing special about it. I can't tell you to care for them or not. I can only ask. I have this opportunity somehow for whatever design that you or the universe has, that I can speak your name, and perhaps sometimes you hear me calling, and so I'm duty bound to use this to help people where I can. Whether or not you choose to care for it, I certainly do not have the power to make you care. I can simply use this opportunity or this power that I do have. And
what you do have is this, and you feel the amulet / like barnacle encrusted sculpture that you wear around your neck sort of like levitate off from where you are, and it's on a loop around your neck, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of feel it sort of pulling you. This token, how did you come across this?
I was given it by a hermit after the storm and the event.
It was not his to give, but it has been given. You have called upon me. I have listened. What would you ask of me now? To continue to listen?
I would not ask of a man to do things he would not want to do, so I will not ask it of a god either. But if you do find it in your heart and your soul and your grander wisdom to give me the ability to keep my friends and those in need safe, those who can't take care of themselves for themselves safe, then I will do what you ask. I will chant your name. I will praise your name. I will bathe in the storm. I will listen to the roar of thunder. I will welcome the lightning. I will do what you need.
It shall be so. And with that last word, you wake up from what you now realize, or maybe you had already realized was some sort of a dream that you were having. Lucid, definitely tangible, yes, imprinted on your brain. Your palms are just soaked. You look at your arms are wet. You look down at your pants are not wet from wetting yourself, but wet from having been immersed in water without explanation. You instinctively reach up to reach for the token around your neck, and it's different. You feel the difference. You look at it, and where it was once a token that was maybe worked to look like a barnacle of some kind, now appears to be a black pearl. Just smooth obsidian. And with that, my friends, we are going to take a much needed break. When we come back, we will get back to our story and continue through the gnarly forest, which is proving to be quite gnarly, brah. But yeah, don't forget, we do have a giveaway. We're giving away some awesome content. The Forgotten Citadel by our friends at CZ RPG Publishing, our longtime sponsors and good friends. Christian and your team, you guys are awesome. We thank you so much for that. So please get in on the action. We thank everybody for hanging out with us tonight. We will be back in 5 minutes, and then we'll see what happens next. So thank you all for being here. We will be back in 5. We find ourselves now. Let's get back to the game, my friends. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Don't forget, we're giving away some CZRPG loot at the end of tonight's session. ! Trying to get in on that action. We are in the gnarly forest, and we are just waking up from our watch. It is morning, but my friends, unfortunately, there is a fairly heavy downpour and a storm that appears to be hanging over the gnarly forest this morning. Started sometime in the evening, or in the middle of the night, I should say, while Xanthi was on watch. And you wake up to find yourselves, not only is Lachlan soaked, as I mentioned before the break, but Desmond, when you wake up and when Spugnar wakes up, all of you seem to be somewhat soaked to the bone.
Is it raining?
It is raining.
Is Xanthi still on watch? Was she on watch?
Yeah, I mean, your watch kind of, everybody's kind of waking up now, so it's...
Yeah, so you guys are all soaked, and Xanthi's, like, sheltering underneath a tree. Like, oh, okay. It was wet.
Look up at the sky. Good morning to you too.
Oh, sir. Something your storm crow can do about this rain.
Oh, I think we're done asking the Stormcrow for anything today. Well, we'll get back to it tomorrow, all right?
Yeah, does the rain mean he's happy or sad?
I bet he likes it.
You know, rain is a good thing. Rain allows us to wash our bodies, grow crops, have water to drink. It's a good thing. I mean, the inconvenience of being slightly moist for a little while, I think, is well worth what we get in return. And so we should be thankful. I mean, I pull out a biscuit. Soggy biscuits are terrible, but, you know, in the grand scheme of things, compared to the Moat House soggy biscuit, pretty good business.
They're not too bad if you dip them in your coffee.
No, speaking of coffee.
At least the coffee's hot.
Yeah.
How'd you sleep, Spug?
I had strange dreams, but I'm pretty rested. My feet are a little sore, but I'm ready. I'm ready for anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's
all right.
good.
Yeah, food.
Well, we're all up.
Yeah, food.
Yeah, I have some. He pulls out this little satchel burlap and he opens it up, and there's a couple of sticks of like jerky and some dried fruit. I mean, I have something.
Okay. I'll give him half of my soggy biscuit.
Oh, I couldn't take.
Take it.
I will. Thank you. Sweet.
All right. So yeah, I guess there's no use in sitting around here getting rained on, so we'll get on the road to get rained on, I guess. Nothing, two of you, everything okay? During the night?
No, just the storm that rolled in. Nothing else happened.
Nice, quiet evening. I guess we did
Yeah.
kill all the gnolls.
Not much.
Famous last words.
Right, I'm sure all the gnolls are gone now.
Do you think
Well,
we should consult the map just, I mean, before we get going, and just, you know, maybe see where we think we are? Or
Yeah, Xanthi
Yeah,
is
sure.
our navigator.
She'll pull it out.
Is the high road trail like pretty clear? Like, is it pretty well traveled, or is it kind of?
no, it's not well traveled at
rough?
all.
Oh,
It's
okay.
rough. It is, as I mentioned, when you guys had been traveling the previous day when it wasn't raining and visibility was good and all that, it was kind of hard to follow the trail. There were some cairns, if you're familiar with that term, where there's some rock piles that sort of mark the trail that you've been following. But yeah, no, it's not well traveled at all. So you pull out the map and you take a look at it. You get a sense that you're maybe a couple miles in from that southern boundary, and that you have a long ways to go navigating through this place. You can see from the sketch that Elmo put on the map, sort of indicating like the trail, and you can see that there was some trail already indicated on the map that don't always line up with each other, but you get the sense that it's going to take some effort, some work to follow. And now that it's raining, there's sort of like this, you know, like in the morning, like when things are damp and hasn't been a lot of evaporation, there's sort of like a mist or a fog that kind of hangs low within the low understory. That's kind of what you're dealing with right now. So visibility is not great.
All right, watch out for bears.
Wow, you have to
Bears.
bring out that old chestnut, eh?
As long as they don't just come running up and attack us from out of the forest for no reason.
Wait, you guys got attacked by bears before. I think you told me
Yeah.
that.
One swiped right at me. It hurts.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Is that
Lachlan
is it-
killed it with lightning.
Is that normal for bears to just kind of want to like attack?
Depends if you're close enough, I guess, to their lair, or if they're, you know, driven mad by something or feel threatened, I guess.
Seemed pretty normal for that bear.
Maybe
I
it was
mean,
just an ordinary
everything's
bear.
attacked us since we got to Hamlet, so
Yeah.
Except the
Who's to
people in
say?
Hamlet. I'm going to say this, though. Everything has attacked us except the people in Hamlet, and we were suspicious the most of the people in Hamlet. So I don't know what that says about us.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't
No, it's
suspicious
true.
of the people in Hamlet. They all were very nice.
I don't think you could be suspicious, Santi.
But that's the thing. They were so nice. It was suspicious.
But
You don't
I'm
think
so
so?
nice. Do you think that's suspicious?
Oh, you're suspicious. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, as we go along,
Walking and talking.
that's right.
All right,
All right.
help me stay on the path.
Yeah, let's get everybody roll a navigation check for me.
Now, I have navigator's tools and proficiency in it. Does that help me in any way, shape, or form?
Remind me, but are those relative to your sailor background? So it'd be like
Yeah,
a
but I would
sextant
think.
or
Yeah, I would think. But it
you know
might
how to
have
read
like
a map. Like you know how to read a map. So
Dez is no help. What kind of roll is that?
it's a survival check, unless you have some sort of navigational skills. So if you do, Christian, I would let you roll with your proficiency bonus to
Awesome. As soon as I found my die.
that survival check, unless you already have that.
I rolled a 7.
I got a dirty 21.
Okay.
Nice. I got a 15 total.
Okay. Give me, Desmond, give me a D20 for Spug Noir.
3.
Okay.
I'm gonna put that
Spug Noir
dice,
to the rescue.
put that die over there for a little bit.
He's like holding the map upside down and like, I don't know.
Backwards.
Maybe
I
we
think
should
you
give
gotta-
that the back.
I think it's upside down.
Oh, of course. Yeah, it's this way. Sorry.
No, you had it the right way. Sorry, that
Oh,
was me.
well, then split the difference. We'll go that way.
I rolled a 7. I don't know what I'm talking about.
And we're taking the map back.
So you guys
Sure, I
continue
haven't
on through
finished
the
my
day,
coffee
right?
yet.
You finish your coffee. You make your way down the trail, what you can make of a trail. You're able to, for the most part, follow the stone cairns, but this fog hangs and the rain continues to fall. The visibility is shit. And at times you lose the trail. You find yourselves stopping. What do you do when you lose the trail? Let me ask you this. What would you do at that point? You're like, wait a minute, we're not on the trail. Where's the cairn? We don't see the cairn.
I guess we'd have to backtrack
Yeah.
That's the safest way.
Okay.
until we find it again.
You're able to generally
apart?
backtrack.
How far apart are they spaced?
I mean, they're like, every couple 20 to some, I mean, it's inconsistent. Sometimes they're 20 feet apart in an area that's particularly like maybe difficult to navigate, like maybe down some rocks, like down some bouldery outcrops, maybe through a thick copse within the forest. Other times they're farther apart from each other, maybe 80 feet apart, 100 feet, where there's a better line of sight, maybe. You're generally able to backtrack, although even backtracking your own tracks is difficult given the rainfall and what that's doing to the ground, which is soaking in this rain. But there is a ton of leaf litter. But you're able to backtrack. You get your course corrected, and you continue on. You at some point stop under a big pine tree that seems to be somewhat protected from the water, from the rain coming down. It seems drier. You guys are just soaked at this point. Maybe to take a break, take lunch, something of that nature.
Chafing begin.
Chafing and like trench boot, that kind of thing, like some fungal growth.
Xanthi's going to use prestidigitation to take the water out of like her cloak and her underclothes, so she can stop chafing.
That is literally that's probably the best spell in the whole entire player's handbook.
It's so versatile.
Yeah.
They could have just called it
everything.
quality of life.
It really, that's what it is. So good, so damn good. Yeah, anything that you want to do or say or have any sort of interaction with each other underneath this tree while you take a quick lunch break kind of thing? Stop to get a bite to eat.
I'll just, while we're doing that, I will. Well, I did say I'd show Xanthi what I was doing, so I'll pull out my little sketch from the night before, and I'll say, so my idea is if we could build something like this that would be portable, when we go out into a place like in the wilds like this, we could build a fire, and then it would stop the light from getting out too far, and we'd still get the heat, and we could still cook our food from underneath, and it would allow the smoke to get out, but it would manage the light a lot more. So what I'm trying to figure it out. I haven't completely gotten it down yet, but I'm gonna keep plugging at it and see what I can do. But at least it would allow us to sort of have a little bit of heat, even if it wasn't very big. So that's what I was doing with the stuff you gave
cool.
us. We'll see. Maybe when we get back to Hamlet, I can go see what was their names? I have it here.
The Smith?
Hagen Blackhammer and Dag Blackhammer. Yeah, Hagen and Elga Blackhammer, and maybe work this out with them. But yeah, that's what I was doing last time.
It sounds really nice.
And then we can put our logo on here.
We have a logo?
And see
Is
this
this a
little,
coffee shop logo?
yeah, you see this little loop here next to the thing? That's for the carafe. It'll just sort of click in there.
Right, our Knoll coffee shop.
That's right.
And Xanthi like takes out her book and she draws a picture of a knoll like with its tongue sticking out, like and
And a mug of coffee in front.
yeah, with a little coffee mug.
Java Knoll.
Perfect.
Java Knoll, I love it. That's beautiful. Yeah, and that right there kind of brings a lightheartedness to this kind of gloomy midday rainstorm that you're traveling in. It's not fun, but Xanthi's sort of infectious positivity comes out in this moment where she draws this goofy Knoll logo, and Spug Noir even giggles a bit, and it feels good. You guys, it feels like the first time you've had a moment like that since Nulb died, where you've sort of giggled without having to force like a happy face kind of thing.
Give
yeah,
a
go
belly
ahead.
giggle. No, I was just gonna say, I give a belly giggle.
Yeah, hearty, like a hearty dwarven. That doesn't
That's
sound like
right.
a hearty. That was like a.
The Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yeah.
Xanthi will like see everybody kind of like lighten up, and then she'll start to feel really guilty. And she'll put the book away and that wasn't our fault, was it? That
What?
that Nulb died.
You can't think like that. I don't know how many times we told him he had to train and he had to equip himself, and he didn't do it. He just... You can help people, but they gotta help themselves to a certain point too. And we told him, train, get some gear, put some armor on. He's out there with a fucking toga trying to fight these fucking gnolls and these spider gods in a fucking toga. Like, who does that? Like, fucking give yourself a chance is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
Damn it.
sometimes the armor kind of slows you down. But he was doing well in the moat house. He was fighting.
All I'm saying is, you're gonna get into a fight. You're gonna fucking put yourself in a situation where your life depends on it, where other people's lives depends on it. You owe it to yourself and the other people around you to be the best that you can be and to be prepared for it. Like, you want to go out there and sort of needlessly just fucking like throw your life away and do whatever. That's fine. That's your that's your lookout. But you're gonna bring people along. You're gonna have people depending on you, and you're gonna. It doesn't matter anyways.
It was a little crazy when he hugged that griffin.
Who hugs a
Son of a
griffin?
bitch.
Oh,
It's
poor
like, it's a
Nulb.
monster. Just it'll eat you. No.
I thought that, I could help him. That, even if he wanted to go hug monsters and he didn't want to stab anything, and I felt like maybe I could protect him.
You can only help people who are willing to try and help themselves. That's what I know now.
I was pretty shit in that last battle. I kept missing and I was so nervous.
Yeah. I think we all had our moments. But he went down fighting. I know that's the way I'd want to go.
I'd like to go in my bed at 75 years old.
Nah.
Having
Well,
led
you're a
life.
dwarf, so is that like tomorrow?
Yeah, how old
I was
are you?
speaking in
anyway?
human years.
Oh. How
I was
many
doing the
is
math
a
for y'all.
dwarf?
Sorry?
How many
I
is a-
am in fact 73. So,
Oh.
in dwarf years, I am in fact 73. But,
These are going to be the greatest next 2 years.
Yeah, I know. I hope.
I think Nulb would be really, really proud of you for, continuing on with what you think needs to be done. I mean, he's gone, but like his spirit still lives, right? Like, maybe? I don't know what I'm talking about, but I feel like Nulb would be proud of you guys.
He did like it when people did the right thing and stood up to bullies and stuff. And his thought about, like, that we could help people without killing people was very noble.
Yeah?
I don't know about you, but I don't know if nobility protects you from something like Lareth. I really don't know that Lareth gives 2 figs and a shake of a fucking acorn tree about nobility. And when Lareth comes knocking at your door at night, or someone like him, who fucking transforms into spiders when he goes, I don't know how far nobility gets you.
That's true. I didn't spare him because he wanted to fight fair when everyone else is possessed by spiders and has gangs of gnolls and things.
I just think that you can't feel guilty for it, Xanthi, because at the end of the day, Nulb was one of the most intelligent, most well-read, most thoughtful, most educated person I've ever come across. And while he may not have taken all the proper precautions he perhaps should have taken, he didn't do what he did because you suggested to him that he does so, or that you told him to do it. He did it because that's what he wanted to do. So it wasn't your fault anymore, and it was mine or Dez's.
We were all there because we wanted to be there.
We just got to take away from this that we got to be better prepared. Like, we were going around sort of willy-nilly, kind of just stumbling through things, and we can't do that if we're going to do this, if this is what our lives are, at least for the foreseeable future. And we got to take stock, and we got to take care, and we got to prepare for it, and we got to be careful. And I mean, I remember when that bear jumped us. You were talking about bears. I remember that bear jumped us. We're like, holy fuck, that was the worst thing ever. Like, what the hell? How are we still alive? Like, it took the intercession of a fucking god to save us from this bear, and we were like, oh my god, right? And I'm guaranteeing you that when we were in that moat house fighting that ogre, when Xanthi went down, and I look at Xanthi just a little bit there as now I'm kind of remembering what I saw in that moment. When Xanthi went down, and we went busting through that door, like, we weren't thinking of bears were like not a problem anymore, right? Bears were like, holy fuck, I wish this was a bear. Right?
Right.
So things have evolved, things have changed. We have also, but we need to realize that what we're facing and the things out here are perhaps going to keep growing and are going to be bigger and badder and are perhaps, more dangerous. And so it behooves us, not only for ourselves, but for each other and for everybody else we try to help, to be as prepared as we can and to be as diligent and as ready to take on whatever comes. We can't just fucking, half-ass it. We got a whole ass it.
We got to do it for Nulb, but we can also...
We don't got to do it for Nulb, man.
We can also save maybe we can do it for Jeru. Maybe we can still, well, maybe you and me, maybe we can still help the people of Hamlet to get through this time.
Right. Well, that element that they were in the moat house, but there's a contingent of them in Nulb. We know that. But they don't know we're coming, right?
Right. So we have the element of surprise.
They might have heard of something going on the high road, but they don't know who we are. They don't know when we'll show up. So we got that going for us, I guess.
Well, we're gonna show up a lot later and a lot wetter if we don't keep going, unless we want to camp here for the night.
Is there a street? Did anybody see like a stream or a river or anything like that?
I mean, there's one on the map, but if we run into the stream, we are way off course.
Take a quick look at the sky, and just with my experience as a sailor and so on and so forth, do I get a feeling that the storm is going to abate anytime soon, or is it like...
It's extremely difficult to get a good view of the sky in this forest. It's the canopy is just too closed where you are. But the rain has not let up. It has been a steady, and it's not like like an oppressive downpour, but it's a constant rainfall throughout the day.
Well, we're pretty protected thanks to the rain. So if we wanted to build a fire and dry ourselves off and kind of give it some time to peter off, we could do that. I mean, if it keeps on going through the day and through the night, all we're going to be is more miserable and more wet. So if we take this time right now to get a little bit of wood, whatever we can sort of manage to get ourselves a fire, we'll be protected. People won't see it. They won't see the smoke. They won't see the fire. Dry our clothes, dry ourselves, wait it out. Even if we have to stay here the night, at least we'll be dry, and then, you know, we won't be worse off. Be a bit late, but at this point, you know, it's not like, I don't know, we're carrying ice cream and we got to get there before it melts.
What's ice cream?
Oh, it's this delicacy that the elves make. What they do is they take like ice and then they crush it, and then they take berries and things and they crush it in that ice, and sometimes they put milk in it, and then they kind of mush it all together, and it makes this kind of cold, fruity, sweet paste thing that you eat, and then you eat a lot of it, and then you get this headache that your head wants to split open, but it's marvelous.
Oh, that sounds painful.
Oh no, it's worth it. It's totally worth it. Check it
We'll
out. I'm
have
sure
to
they have
find
some in
some-
Greyhawk.
I've heard of it.
We'll have to find some ice cream, maybe, in Nulb.
Yeah, if you've never had ice cream, you get to get yourself one of those spells like the one you do to heat things. You got to get one that freezes things, and then we can make some. Get ourselves some nice goat milk, then just freeze the hell out of that.
I'll take your word for it. So let's look for a place to take shelter, I guess.
Be nice if there's a cave or something.
Like an overhang, or...
Yeah.
Man, I wish we had our tents, but every time we set them up, Noel's come
They're
and step
one-use
on them.
tents.
Did we clarify that like our tents are just gone? Our tents are gone,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I still
Yeah.
have one in my inventory. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, your tents were trashed. Every time you set up a
Right.
tent, it got trashed. So you guys are going to look for a place to get dry, hole up, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Or do you want to keep moving to make up
Well,
some...
how much time in the day
It's
is
like
there?
midday from the best you can tell.
We should probably keep moving.
I think we should
It's up to
keep
you guys.
moving until we find a decent place to shelter.
I'm only thinking that while this is coming, we can have a fire going without too much danger. If we wait for the night and the rain to stop, then it's going to be problematic to have a fire, and then we're just going to have to sleep in our wet clothes in the cold of the night. That's all I'm thinking.
But we have to find a dry place to start a fire.
And firewood.
Mm.
Whatever you guys want to do,
I say we keep moving.
All right.
At least
let's
until
keep
the afternoon.
Yeah, just keep
And
an eye out.
If we see a place, just like you said, Des,
Right.
a cave or something, we can check it out to make sure there's no bears in it.
Yeah.
Do
Or
bears
gnolls.
sleep in caves?
Yep.
I think
Yeah,
so.
they do, don't they?
Yeah, most of the time.
Well, we'll have to check it out before we sleep in it.
Or that it's a friendly bear.
Yeah. Giroux's got a bear that's friendly.
That's right.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. So it's entirely possible. I like your optimism, Xanthi.
Thanks.
He shoulders his pack. Well, press on a bit longer.
Sure.
Let's do it.
Pulls his cloak tight. And the four of you continue doing your best to follow the cairns and the trail. Let's do another group survival navigation check. And this time, Xanthi, I'll have you do Spugnoir's.
I got 14.
Okay. Des?
Not great. 8.
Okay. Xanthi?
Horrible rolls.
Really bad. I rolled another 2 on this real dice.
2. And then what about for Spug?
Well, actually, it's 5. It's 5 total.
Okay. Then just give me a straight D20 for Spug. Xanthi.
Oh, okay. You know what? That is the third 2 I've rolled tonight, so I think
I
I
know.
might need a different dice.
A 14, an 8, a 5, and a 2. All right. Yeah, you can trade
Alright,
out your
I'm gonna
dice if you
switch
want
out
to,
my
but
dice.
yeah, that's not good. You guys get turned around again in the next hour to hour and a half. You seem to have lost the trail. The cairns are missing at times. You try to backtrack. The fog sort of blowing through this understory, obscuring your vision, and just getting really frustrated as you continue to get wet. But you can tell that as you've gone forward a little bit farther looking for a cairn, that the trees have thinned out a little bit and the terrain has gotten a little bit more bouldery and rocky. And you look forward, you stop, you're kind of trying to figure out what you want to do, and you look forward and you can see that the fog bank recedes momentarily to reveal what appears to be some sort of tower or pillar of rock or some sort of a structure that seems to be just outside of your full perception because of the fog moving around. What's that? Did you see that? There's something up there.
What do you think it is?
It was like some rock or something.
Was it a tower?
A tower.
Do you think someone made that?
Seemed out of place.
It's nothing on the
Where
map, right?
Wizards live. Well, it's
I
the only
don't
dry
see it
place
on the
we've
map.
found in a while. Do you want to check it out, or do you want to not risk it?
Yeah, maybe there's shelter there.
That's true.
We can check it out, but we check it out really careful, because if there's some sort of nasty spider vomiting thing living in there, I'd rather not.
I'm not interested in that either.
Yeah, no spiders. All right.
All right, moratorium on spiders.
Once
let's
we
go.
get close, I'll sneak ahead.
Sneak up, yeah,
Take a look.
sounds like a plan.
All right, so you start to make your way forward. You said you're sneaking up. Are you going to go stealthily towards this?
Yeah, like once we get kind of close, I guess, so as to not slow down too much. But yeah, once we're within I don't know, maybe about 100 feet of this.
Yeah, give me a stealth check if
structure.
you're going to try to stealth forward. Anybody who
All right.
wants to move forward stealthily.
That's pretty good. 23.
Not bad. Is anyone else joining Desmond stealthing forward?
You got this. She'll message.
I'm going to stick with you, Xanthi. And Spudmore just kind of like gets down sort of off to your side.
I'm just going to
This
have my
is
crossbow
really
out
good.
just in case.
Okay.
And sneaking. So we're just going to let him sneak.
Desmond, as you get closer, you see that the fog sort of thins enough where it reveals that there's a crumbling tower, a stone tower that seems to be almost leaning as if possibly to topple over. Like you could almost go push it over, possibly. Give me a perception
like a big
check.
sign next to that
Perception.
horrific looking tower that says like free kittens with an arrow?
There is not that you can see from where you are.
Ice cream.
10 perception.
Free hugs.
Free hugs. Oh, it's Norm's home.
A 10, okay.
I stealth great, but I percept horrible.
Yeah, it looks like the oaks and some of the pine trees that have grown about it are strangely close to the structure itself, possibly even the source of the tower's strange tilt, as if the roots below were sort of like shifting, but it looks like it's been there a long time because some of these pine trees, if you look on Owlbear, I've got it up, are quite close to the walls of this tower.
Oh, okay.
But you don't see any movement. You see blackened stones, and as you get closer, how close do you get to the tower as you're moving forward?
I'll get up to like 60 feet, probably.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Or
So that's
30
basically
feet.
all you can see from that distance.
Okay.
You're still
All
pretty
right.
far away from it. You don't see any movement, no activity per se.
All right. So after watching it for a little bit, I'll kind of just like motion for everybody to come up.
Okay.
You guys are all about 60 feet away from it right now.
So do we come up?
Yeah, come up. It doesn't look
Okay.
like anybody's around.
Well, let's go up.
Go up. Being careful. Keeping an eye out.
Yeah, none of you see anything but just this sort of outline of this, what you can now definitely see as a tower. But you're still, like I said, 60 feet away, so you can't really see a whole lot, but you've got sort of this broad sort of view of it, and the fog shifts and parts momentarily and then comes back thick and obscures it a little bit. You can see it's kind of on this promontory almost. Hard to tell what the terrain does behind the tower, but it is a thin, almost a bald spot on top of a hill. And you could imagine this would have been a great spot to have like a lookout tower, and that presumably is why this thing is here. Do you want to approach the tower more, check it out, or move on?
Well, in for a penny, in for a pound. I guess let's go
Yeah.
and check it out. Let's just be ready.
This could be a good shelter.
Yeah, but somebody else is bound to have thought the same thing. So let's get closer. I'll go in front until we're really up to it. Then when we're up to it, if you want to slip ahead and just check if there are traps outside the door kind of thing, and then we'll do you have any sort of light that we could throw in there?
I have a torch.
Yeah, I have my lantern. Let's
Okay,
go.
well let's move up, and then when we get close, you can flash your lantern in there.
Xanthi casts mage armor on herself.
Okay, so the four of you make your way forward, and as you get closer to this tower, you can see the stone foundation. It appears to be compromised, as I mentioned, possibly from branches of trees, roots growing beneath the structure's foundation. The stones themselves are blackened, and you can almost smell the odor of burnt. It's got like this burnt odor to it. Aroma, possibly from a historic fire. You look closer at the stones as you near, and you can see that they seem to be stained with black soot. And there's a single entrance that pierces the lower level of the structure. There's an open archway. There's no door. And above the archway, there is a smooth keystone that seems to glow with a strange, dim turquoise light. a gust of wind blows past, and you can see like there's this wet pile of ash laying off to the side, and it just kind of like puffs the ash into the air, and it kind of blows it past you. Not really causing any harm or anything, but just as sort of like an effect that comes past as you take it all in.
Is it possible that there's some sort of thing on there that if we approach the door, it's going to like fire blast us?
There is a lot of burn marks around here.
I could try to, I don't know, I could cast detect magic. See if that's magic, but it's probably magic.
Yeah, is it gonna tell you what it is, or if it's just gonna tell you that it's magic?
Well, detect magic, it'll tell me the school of magic if I cast it, but it doesn't necessarily tell me what it does.
Mm-hmm. Well, worth trying, I think.
I could try to identify it, but I have to touch it.
Spugnor,
Yeah.
are you able to identify something like that? Something magical?
I haven't learned how to identify magical essence or anything like that. So, but I mean, it's glowing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just going to tell you, it looks magic to me.
Is there do we see any kind of writing or inscriptions or anything like that anywhere near that keystone? Above the door?
From that distance you're at, you don't, but if you wanted to get up and take a closer look, you could roll an investigation check if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll get up closer.
I don't know that you want to do that. It might be a proximity thing.
Well, where's the closest pile of ash?
Right at your feet.
All right, maybe I won't move up.
So, okay, let's try something first. Can we find something fairly large that we could kind of throw at the door just to sort of first?
Absolutely. There's branches that from these pine trees that have fallen and broken on the ground. You could use a branch.
Let's start by doing that. We'll throw something sizable out towards the door so that it kind of lands in the doorway, and then see what happens.
Right.
That's a great idea, Lachlan.
That tells me it's a bad idea, but maybe instead of throwing it, Des can pick it up and just drop it there with his hand.
No,
Yeah, I could do that too.
don't walk closer than the ash burn thing, just in case that is a after result.
Mm-hmm.
Xanthi's gonna grab maybe a pine cone, and she's gonna chuck it in the doorway.
A pine cone?
Pine cone.
Yeah, you guys are what 20 feet from the door. Desmond, you weren't gonna go up yet. You take the pine cone, you chuck it up to the doorway, and it rolls across the threshold through the archway and rolls right inside and disappears into the darkness. You hear sort of thunder in the distance, and rain continues to fall. Nothing happens.
Might not be big enough.
So, like, projectile, it's fine with that.
Let's get something bigger. So we'll get something bigger and either throw it in or have Des bring it up with his hand. I guess if Des is okay with that.
Oh, I was trying to look up how much I can carry with the mage hand, but I can't find it right now.
It's like 10 pounds.
Yep.
Oh yeah, or carry anything, yeah, more than 10 pounds. So
you can find a branch that fits that. It's not a huge limb of a tree, but it's a sizable branch, and you can drag it up. What's the distance on your mage hand now? You've got like extra distance,
60
I think.
feet.
Yeah.
So I'll take mage hand and just start dragging a branch like back and forth. Kind of just like moving it kind of like in a zigzag pattern towards the entrance.
Okay. Yeah, you do that, and you drag it. Do you get right up to the entrance itself, the archway, the open archway?
Yeah.
Do you go through it?
Yeah, I'll take the mage hand and just kind of like push the branch into the doorway. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you do that, and the branch goes in through the doorway, and nothing happens.
Pull it back
All
out
right.
again.
Well,
Well, hold
maybe,
on. Pull it back out again.
maybe it's
Right.
fine unless we touch it. So, like, let's.
This could have been something totally different too.
It could, but just do me a favor and pull it back out again.
All right, it's out.
It's out.
All right.
Xanthi's gonna walk forward towards the door.
Yeah. Let me go first. I'm built a little tougher. Let me go first. Just stand back and let me go first. So I'm going to, fucking YOLO and very trepidatiously walk forward.
You
Do you
get
see any runes?
20 feet from the structure, 15 feet. You're looking at it, taking it all in, the rain coming down, thunder echoing in the distance, lightning flashing across the sky occasionally. You get 10 feet from the structure, the archway now looming before you, the keystone at the apex of the arch glowing this strange dim turquoise light. You get 5 feet.
That thing even gets brighter, I'm gonna stop.
You get 4.5 feet. You get, I'm just kidding. You get right up to it, and you look up at the glowing keystone above you, and you look inside, and the inside of this place is dark, but with your dark vision, you can see that there is ruin inside. It's rubble. It's obviously this place has been around for a long time. The structure itself is fully compromised, and it looks as though it's probably been in this sad state for quite some time. There is some moss growing over things. There are vines, and you can even see the roots of some of the trees from outside that have wrapped themselves into the interior. But there is a stone staircase that goes up to what appears to be a second level.
Is it dry in here?
In areas there, you can tell that there are wet spots though. Looking at the ground, there are some puddles, but there are some dry spots inside.
And what's the situation with the second floor? Does it look like it's there at all, or?
Yeah, there's still some intact floor upstairs.
Can I just check if I see some obvious tracks?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a survival check. And I'm picturing in my head that you're at the threshold of the thing.
Yeah.
Above you can see the glowing thing. You're looking down, you see some puddles, some wet spots, some dry spots.
Look for spiders.
Thanks. I got 18 on my survival.
Yeah, you do see tracks. You see animal tracks. You see what appear to be maybe like a small dog, perhaps. You see some deer tracks, possibly deer, or maybe like a stag of some sort of a caribou, woodland caribou type of creature.
All right, so I'll turn around. I'll say, it looks like there's stairs leading up to a second floor, so there might be something or someone up there, but looks fairly safe enough in here, and it's at least partially dry, so I'll say let's check out the second floor, and then it might be a good place to sort of set up and try to dry out.
So Lachlan, you're going to enter into the tower, sounds like?
Yeah.
As you take a few steps into the tower, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, see? I knew it. I knew it was coming. I'm going to do it with advantage.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh, I got that was worth it. A 19 and an 18. So the 19 actually gives me with dex saving throw 20. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Very nice. So as you step in, you step on some of the debris and you hear and some rocks tumble from above you and land at your feet.
I stop. Do I look down? Do I feel like I stepped on some sort of trigger or something, or?
No, you get the sense that this place is fairly unstable.
All right, I think I've changed my mind.
It's a death trap. Let's camp in it.
Yeah. I think I've changed my mind
thing
about staying
we found
in
this entire game.
here. That's right. I will back out slowly, keeping an eye on that.
Give me another
Glowing
dex
moon
save.
But there's a second level.
There is a
What's up
second
there?
level.
Yeah, but if the first level It's not safe. The second level is not going to be much. I got an 18 again, actually. 19 with the +1 on my dex save.
Okay, so as you're sort of stepping backwards, you hear, and another rock falls and actually hits you, and you take 8 bludgeoning damage from the rock hitting you.
Oh! Damn it! Does it look
out.
like they're being thrown, maybe?
No, you just get the sense that this place is unstable.
Damn it, I hightail it out of there.
Yeah, that's not a good place to sleep.
Ow! Damn it! I think my shoulder
okay?
and my kneecap.
Yeah, it looks a little dangerous, I guess.
I wish I could
try-
heal you. I don't have any healing magic.
No, it's all right. Don't worry about it, Spug.
Do you
That
think
looked like
there's
it hurt. I don't understand. If there's magic, like, doing something with that stone, why is this place, like, falling apart? It doesn't make sense.
Well, can you tell what kind of magic is the stone doing?
I mean, I'll look at it.
Don't go inside. It's
No,
super
trust me.
dangerous.
I'm not going in there. He walks up and looks at it. I mean, there's no symbols. I mean, it's just a stone that's glowing. It's smooth. I mean, it's really smooth. Kind
maybe
of pulls his hand away.
Maybe that stone is the only thing holding the rest of it up? No.
I don't really sense magic. Like, I don't. But that stone it's giving off some energy.
All right, Xanthi walks up to the stone and she touches it and tries to cast Identify if something bad doesn't happen upon her touching it.
You're gonna cast Identify on it.
Yeah.
Okay. So as Xanthi goes forward to investigate, she reaches up. She and Spug Noir are standing there. He's like, "It's fascinating." You're like, "Yeah." And you reach up and you touch it, and that's when there's this like gust of wind, and it sort of kicks up more of this ash that sort of like starts to float in the air as you run your hand across the smooth stone of this glowing rock. And the ash that's kind of floating past you stops floating and just hangs in suspension as everything surrounding you fades into this gray mist. You pull your hand away, almost it didn't hurt you, but you felt something, and you pull your hand away, and that's when all of you realize that you are staring at a strange ghostly version of this tower. No longer crumbling and falling and damaged and toppling. It is intact, standing erect and tall and powerful in front of you. And it shocks you for a minute. And that's Desmond. That's when you and Lachlan, standing kind of farther back, watching, sort of see motion coming from behind you. And you both kind of turn and you see this individual, this cloaked figure that just kind of stumbles past you with a staff in one hand. Give me a perception checks, the two of you.
Oh.
13.
14.
Nice.
Okay, you see that this individual is moving forward with a staff in their hand, kind of hobbling. They themselves appear to almost have like a ghostly aura about them, and you can't tell what they have in their other hand, but they're clutching something tightly against their body as they make their way to the entrance, and they just almost like go right through Xanthi and Spug Noir, who don't even see this individual coming. Goes right through them and enters into the tower and disappears. Xanthi, you and Spug Noir, as this thing goes through, you feel this cold sensation. And then all of a sudden you see the back of this cloaked individual wearing sort of this cloak that is dyed with browns and greens, very little decoration on it. The hood pulled up, and it just kind of passes through you, not taking notice of you, but then going up this spiral stone staircase to the second level of this sort of glowing, ghostly tower. What do you guys do?
Well, this tower's occupied. We should leave.
Des drops to his knees and plugs his ears immediately. That's a ghost. That's another fucking ghost. I'm getting out of here. That was a ghost, right? We should get out of here.
It walked right.
Don't listen to it.
Yeah, don't look it in the eyes.
I look at the stone. Is it glowing differently than it was before? Or?
Nope, it's glowing brighter. So I guess yes, it is. It's glowing brighter than it was before.
I'm trying to figure out if what we're seeing is an illusion, perhaps, rather than a ghost, like something that would be created by that.
I'm not going in there to find
I don't think illusions are icy cold when they walk through you.
Icy cold, yeah. Sounds right. It's a ghost.
I'll back out of there.
All right. Sorry.
You might have some years to spare if you want to talk to him.
Have a nice day.
I'm not going anywhere near that guy.
Xanthi just turns about on her heels. Starts walking back the way we came.
Yeah.
All right, so what do you guys intend to do? You're going to take off?
Oh, yeah.
Dez is not messing around with any ghosts right now. That's the last thing he wants to do.
I mean, I'm kind of liking the shelter idea, but I can clearly see it's not working for my two companions. So,
Spug, stay away from there.
Don't look at it.
Don't even look over there. Plug your ears.
I don't understand it. It was just a ruin a second ago, and now it's...
Well, you saw that.
That's amazing.
You saw that figure, right?
It doesn't look...
man was in a hurry.
But the tower, it looks complete, but it doesn't look real, right? It looks ghostly.
It looks real, but it looks like it's got like a different sort of aura to it. It doesn't look like something you would build with stones. It's got something else going on, and that keystone is glowing much more brightly.
We can't go around solving every ghost problem. and honestly, what have ghosts done for us?
But aren't you curious? I'm getting curious.
If you're curious, you can go up there, but I'm not going anywhere near that tower.
How long do dwarves live?
A good long while.
75, right?
Yeah. I got another good year, 2 good years ahead of me.
Look,
it's a roll of the dice.
I'd go in there if you want to check it out. I mean, I'm really curious.
Me too. All right, let's go, Spug. You can stay here for a minute.
You've been warned.
Yeah. Let's go check it out.
What's the signal?
Me screaming.
That's pretty solid.
It's a pretty good signal. I'll run in there blindfolded and deaf.
Just get out.
I'll be a great help.
Just get out. Just get out if that happens. Let's go up close and see if we see anything different inside now.
Yeah, so you move forward, Spug Noir, at your heels. When you get up to the entrance at the threshold, you can see that it appears to be fully intact inside, which you kind of would have expected from what you saw on the outside. It is a Spartan tower. It doesn't look like it's a place where someone lives. There's no like bedroom and, living quarters or anything like that, but it looks as though there is an intact spiral stone staircase that goes up. That is where that individual disappeared to. But
There's
it looks like a tower.
Water pooling on the floor? Or?
There's no water inside. There is, in fact, the ground level that if you were to step inside is stone floor. It's not mud like it was a minute ago.
Okay. Well, fuck it. I'll step in cautiously.
Yeah, okay. You step inside, take one step in, just expecting the worst, but nothing happens. Spugnoir follows. He looks up the stairs. We're going up there, aren't we?
Well, we're gonna take a listen just to see if there's anything that we can hear, and then yeah.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, terrible. 8.
Okay,
13.
yeah, you don't really hear much. You might hear like some like clanging or some footsteps or some shuffling about, but that's about it.
All right, I'll step in.
Well, you're already inside. Do you want to, I guess the next
Oh,
question,
yeah,
do
so
you
we'll
want to
go
go
towards
up the stairs?
Go up towards the stairs.
Okay, so you start to ascend the spiral staircase. Hey, Dungeon Mr. Ty, welcome. Good to see you. You ascend the spiral staircase and you find yourself in a room that contains a battered iron cauldron. There's all sort of like alchemical supplies, and you can see this figure, which now is visible to you as an elderly, white-bearded man. He has this, as I mentioned, sort of green and brown cloak that has like this sort of woven sort of inlay decoration along the fringe of it. He appears to be busying himself in a methodical manner amongst these implements. There is now a fire lit, you can see underneath the cauldron, and he is working with something at a table that you can't quite see because he kind of like turns from the cauldron where you can see him. He takes no notice of you. It's almost like you're not even there. And he turns back to the sort of workbench where he's working with his back to you.
Do I feel heat from the fire under the cauldron?
You do, and you can smell like the aroma of like chemical or sort of like herbal kind of aroma from something that's sort of in the cauldron. You can see the flames flicking at the bottom, heating it up, and you can see him working. And as you sort of take it all in, you can hear him sort of muttering under. You can't make out what he's saying, but you can hear him, saying something. He's talking to himself, it sounds like.
I'll sort of lean into Spug and go, keep your eyes averted. Don't look at him, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Pardon our interruption.
No response. Just continues working on whatever's going on over at the workbench, and then turns and like doesn't look at you, but you can see this old man, and he kind of like moves over to the cauldron and throws what appear to be some herbs into it out of a mortar that he was grinding up perhaps, and then he turns back to the table and he's working on some, and then you can see him, he's really sort of like grinding something.
I will approach and sort of try to take a look at what he's doing and what he's got going on.
Okay, yeah, you can see that in his hands he has revealed what he was sort of holding tightly to his body, and it is this strange glowing stone, bright white, brilliant. And he's got it in this bowl, and he's grinding it into powder. He's got this focused sort of manner, and he's muttering to himself as he continues to grind the stone into powder, just working it and working it.
If I take a quick look around the room, does this place give off a, crazy hermit, lone druid, wild necromancer? Like, what's the general sort of decor?
There are
what's the
herbs,
zeitgeist of the room?
I would say, as a description, there are herbs hanging on drying racks. There are some animal skins. There are various jars with God knows what in them, whether they're some sort of potions or powders, all kinds of, and then there's like beakers, like glass jars and all that kind of thing.
Right. Well, I think I've gone about, as far. as I dare go, because the next step is to touch something, and I'm pretty sure that if there's a trigger for something, that I'm like, you want to touch the ghost stuff.
He's
usually
grinding and grinding and grinding, and then he just kind of turns and walks past, like almost through you / past you, kind of move out of the way as he kind of moves back to the cauldron, and he pours the ground up stone, this bright, and it's this powder is just illuminating, and he pours it in. You can just kind of see, he pours it in slowly, and it just falls in, and the bubbles. And then he goes and he gets a big ladle, and he dips the ladle into this cauldron, and he pulls it out and he pours it into a goblet.
what the loving fuck is going on?
And you can see as he picks this goblet up and holds it to his face, it illuminates his face. Just the light coming out of this goblet. And he imbibes, he drinks it down. And it's just like searing. You can see it going down his esophagus, like this light glowing from inside of him. And in a moment, his visage grows grim and like panicked. And he just howls in pain. And this bright light starts to boil inside of his body, outward illuminating the room now. And you kind of you start to back up. Spug Noir is starting to back up as if like getting close, like he's going to go down the stairs here in a minute. This doesn't look good. There's this flash of light with inside. You shield your eyes, and then you feel the heat as this place begins to burn. The entire tower becomes engulfed in flames. I need you to tell me what you're going to do to get out of this place.
I am going to fucking... So are there any sort of windows or openings on this floor?
There are some small openings. You're on a second story, and basically what I'm asking for at this point is like, give me an idea of what you want to do and a skill that you're going to roll to do it.
Probably use my athletics, like to try and get down those stairs, like to sort of, kind of half-ass slide down and then jump down to the bottom so I can get out quicker. But I'm going to make sure that Spug Noir is following. Okay.
Give me an athletics check. Spug Noir is going to, he's going to use his dexterity to sort of like leap away from the flames that are engulfing this place. And Xanthi and Desmond, you don't see any of this happening. At first, you hear the howl of this man screaming, or somebody screaming, you're not sure which. And then you see from these small windows, gout of flame just out the side.
Oh, that's not good.
What'd you roll, Lachlan?
I'm rolling now.
I told him.
I was waiting for a description to finish. 12 plus 6 for athletics, so 18.
18. Okay. You kind of race towards the stairs, getting out of the way of sort of this explosion of intensity. You do take, however, half of this, so you take 2 radiant damage.
Okay.
I need a roll. Let's see, Xanthi, will you give me a D20 roll for Spug Noir's dexterity check?
Spuggy.
He is going to try to get the hell out of here.
Spugnacious.
1.
1? Holy shit. Spug Noir.
We can't lose Spug before we get to know
in the first day. Spug Noir takes 6 damage, and he is knocked down.
I will stop and come back for him.
Yeah, I mean, you're like diving out of the way and racing past. You get hit with this radiant damage. You see Spug Noir drop to the ground, and you kind of grab him. What are you going to do? Give me an athletics check. Holy shit.
14.
14. All right. Yep. You grab Spug and you start making your way down the stairs. You do take another 2 radiant damage, and Spug Noir, we'll say he doesn't take anymore. He's already at 6. But oh my God. You get to the stairs, you get down the stairs, the place is engulfed in flames. Xanthi and Desmond, you're like wondering if you should race forward or what you should do. And that's when you see Spug Noir, or you see Lachlan running out of the entrance of this thing with Spug Noir over his shoulder as this place is engulfed in flames.
It was a bad idea. It was a bad idea.
We
But
told you.
Behind them, what's even more disturbing, behind them, you see the man running down the stairs behind them, racing. He is engulfed in flame as if he is some sort of, he has become like a fiery elemental creature as he races past you. And as he does, he gives off this heat. Give me a dexterity save, Xanthi and Desmond.
Ah.
Oh man. Whew. Okay. Dirty
All right.
20. And she
Nice.
like averts her eyes so she doesn't look him in the eye.
18.
Desmond, you and Xanthi, you take half this. So you take 1 radiant damage as you are blasted with the heat of this, whatever this is. And as it runs past you, you turn and you look and it just disappears. Just like fades away. And you look back at Lachlan and Spugnoir, who are like breathing heavy. You know, Lachlan has set Spugnoir down on the ground, and you can see now the tower is no longer this full flaming tower. It is back to this decrepit, toppling over stone tower.
Well, that was not good.
Was
And
there
that, my
anything of value
friends,
up there?
That, my friends, is where we are going to end tonight. I will say this, Lachlan, when you were there,
Yeah.
you did see that there was a chest underneath the workbench.
There was nothing of value in there. All right, we'll see what we do next time.
Well, let me just ask, do you want to go to you want to get the chest? You want to try for the chest?
Well, Lachlan's not treasure driven, but I would probably, if you asked me, you see anything, I'll be like, I don't know. Like, it was really weird in there. I could see this guy's workshop. I think maybe there was a chest under the table or something like that, but I don't know that we should go back in there.
Chest, you say?
Xanthi's gonna heal both Lachlan and
Thank you.
Spud.
Spugnoir's like, oh my god, that
Actually,
was intense.
yeah.
What did we say about ghosts?
Yeah,
don't
but
know
I
if
don't
that
think it
was a
was a
ghost.
ghost. Yeah,
I don't think it was a ghost.
it was
All right.
more. It was some sort of recreation of what happened. I'll tell them the story, what I saw, basically. But yeah, we can do this next time.
Desmond, well, I just want to know because we can just adjudicate this now. Do you want to go for the chest?
Des is going to go after the chest.
All right, so give me a dexterity save.
Also, Lachlan, take 10 cure
You know
wounds.
Use my
and,
advantage from the chat.
Thank you,
chat.
chat.
Takes
Thank you,
8.
chat.
Thank you.
And hang out with us. We're almost done here, guys, and we're going to go ahead and raid into somebody. I don't know who yet, but we'll find somebody. Probably Dorktails.
17.
17. All right, as you enter in carefully, a rock falls, and you take 4 bludgeoning damage as a rock hits you in the shoulder, but you make it to the stairs. You look up the stairs. You look at the stairs. They look pretty rough, but you could do it.
All right. Using my dexterous acrobatic abilities, I'm going to try to walk gingerly up the stairs.
Smart. Give me another dex save.
Oh boy.
You've got like a housebreaker harness, right?
That was a natural one.
Oh, shit. All right. So you take 10 bludgeoning damage. As you start to fall through the stairs, a rock comes off the wall and hits you.
All right, Des is going to run away now.
That's pretty bad.
He's going to get up and run away. Fuck that.
Give me one more dex save as you run out.
Fuck.
Oh, man.
It's not good.
Come on, roll high.
I think I'm out of advantages. Yeah.
Yeah, well, just roll really high. It's simple.
So
All right.
simple. Even you can.
17.
Not bad.
17. All right. You take 3 more bludgeoning damage as this thing starts to topple and falling down.
This is
Desmond
so
runs
fucked
out
up.
the door, and the thing is just like
Des
up,
comes
the
out
rock
like
falls
all
and just misses
just
him.
like bloodied and battered.
Told you.
You said three more bludgeoning?
Yes, 3 more bludgeoning on top of the rest. That's a lot of damage. And as Lachlan looks at you and says, I told you so, we'll go ahead and stop there, my friends, as as badly as I want to
Just
give
can't
you
get any treasure in this
I
game.
just can't quite get to it. You guys, better luck next time. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Maybe if I climb up the outside.
Here's the beauty of it. It's still pouring cats and dogs, and you guys are soaking wet. So,
well, I was thinking about the climbing outside thing. If it's really like because I don't think it's just normal rocks that are falling. I think there's some sort of spell or whatever, something that's protecting it. So I was thinking,
do you want to try to climb? Oh, I mean, we can. Let's do it.
I have a grappling hook.
Let's do. We're not ready to leave yet. Let's do this.
Hold on. Let me heal you before you.
Someone with hit points to it.
Well, actually, I could probably do it.
Points left.
I have hit points and I have a high athletic.
This is the lowest Des has
has
been out of combat.
Hands me that rope with a little hook on it. Okay.
How rude is it going to be when I'm like, "There's no chest"?
Yeah, I know.
Des has got like a black eye. He's like kind of delirious. Got hit in the head with a rock a couple times.
Does Xanthe think that she could squeeze through one of those windows on the upper level?
We could go up the outside.
Okay, so she's gonna take the harness from Des, like that like a rope with a grappling hook.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna close her eyes and she's gonna bamf up there.
Okay.
Using Misty Step.
Okay. Give me a dexterity save, please.
Okay. And she's gonna roll with an advantage.
That's a good idea. That's a very good idea.
9.
No.
9's a great number. Take 9 bludgeoning damage as you land, and this rock hits you.
Grab the chest and run.
Okay. Do I see a chest up there?
You look around and you're like, God damn it! You're bleeding. You see an old workbench, dilapidated, rotted out, but there is a similarly rotted out chest underneath it.
Oh yeah. I will go for it.
Yeah, you could go and, I mean, it's big. You wouldn't be able to like pull it but you can open
like,
it.
If it's rotten, yeah. Can I open it?
Well, if it'll fit through the window, you can just put the hook through it and throw us the rope and we can pull it out.
Okay, I open it.
You open it up. Okay, so
there's nothing inside.
You crack the thing open. No, there is some stuff inside. There is a like a leather sack, a satchel inside.
Okay, I just shove that into my bag.
Yeah, you can like throw it over your shoulders. Basically, it's got like like a courier bag kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I grab that. Is there anything else in there?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, then I go to a window. It
feels heavy. It feels like there's stuff in it.
And I hook that grappling hook on the side and like toss the rope like down.
Totally.
And then I'm going to squeeze through the window and try to lower myself.
Give me one more dex save, please.
I will use my other advantage.
Just roll high.
Actually, you know what? Like the VTT's been mean, so I will roll 2.
Everything's been mean.
Everything's my dice have been horrible tonight.
Spugnor's like, boy, this is dangerous work.
17.
You'll get used to it.
Take 8 bludgeoning damage as you get clipped by another rock that falls, but you make it out the window and you shimmy down the rope as fast as you can, getting to the ground, feet on the ground, you back away.
Ow!
Did you get it?
I got it.
That's great.
She's got like just a big red like scratch mark across her face.
This is like, so messed up.
All right. And she's gonna try to get the grappling hook back.
Yeah, you give it a couple of tugs and you pull the grappling hook and you comes down, you breathe a sigh of relief, you turn around to the group, you're like, all right, we got it. And then at that point you just hear as the entire tower just falls to the ground behind you, just drops and smashes. There's just dust and puddles of water gets sprayed all over. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session, as you guys have
real.
destroyed this tower. Yeah, this time we're really ending. Hey, everybody, thanks for hanging out with us tonight and playing games. We are going to give away some content here. It is the Forgotten Citadel. I'm going to put a little link in the chat, or a little message, !drawing, to get in on the giveaway. You do have to be here to win, so we're going to go ahead and draw the winner in just a second. I'd like to ask my my awesome players to go ahead and just, if there's anything that you want to say, where people can find you, anything you got going on that you want to plug, anything coming up that you want to plug, let's do that while folks are getting one last chance to get in on it. And then we're going to go ahead and raid our friends at Dorktales. So let's go ahead and start with Ashley.
Hey everybody, I'm Ashley, Minnesota Muse 99 on Twitter. I have nothing going on but this right now, so come back and see me next Tuesday for more Heroes of Greyhawk. I'll be here.
Fantastic. Thanks for being here, Ashley. It's just a pleasure to play games with you. I'm so glad that we connected whenever that was years ago, and now we're still doing it.
It's almost my 2-year anniversary of joining the channel.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to have to celebrate. Hey, everybody come over to our Discord and we'll celebrate over there. That sounds like
yeah.
Let's jump over to Andy G3D.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Andy, also known as Andy G3D. Hey, there's a misprint in my stream elements. Anyways, Andy G3D here on Twitch and on our Discord server.
And Angie. Ooh,
you can find me here on Tuesday nights playing Dez Getting Cursed. Soon to be throwing spells around to people. It's going to be awesome. And, I help out with Shadesong producing.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Thanks for the effort. Thanks for being here. You've been playing in this campaign / Greyhawk stuff for 4 years?
Pretty long time now.
Long time.
I think
glad
that
you're still here.
4 years.
4 years. Well, glad you're still here, man. You're my favorite.
Pre-pandemic.
You're my favorite person to curse. So thanks for hanging out. Let's jump over to the bleak season, the bleakest.
The bleakest, yes, the bleak season on Twitter, and I'll be here tomorrow in Their Fangs Mean Blood, a pre-recorded game that we did with Chris Islov from Roll to Get RPG. It's a fun tale of queer pirate vampires and misdeeds on the high seas. I'll be back Thursday after that with Andy doing Shadesong as usual right here on Guild Superior, and Friday Dave and I will be on Darling Creepshow's channel doing Cult at 9 Eastern. Mature audiences only. It's going to be dark and sweaty and dirty. So
wait,
that's
sweaty?
what I got going on.
Sweaty.
I was not informed that I would be sweating, although let's be honest, I'm always sweating.
You're always sweating.
I'm always
so
sweating.
Join us. A lot of games, a lot of fun.
Dude, so many games, and so happy that you are here to play and run games, Chris. It's been a pleasure having you. Big shout out to the one that's not on the screen tonight, Kirk. Our beloved Kirk, has taken some time off to take care of some other things that he's got going on in his life, but we anticipate that he will be back at some point in the future. Whenever that happens, we will be excited for that. But we do have someone joining us. I'm not going to say who, but we've got a new player that's going to be coming in to play Greyhawk with us, and very, very excited for that. So stay tuned for more information. If you want to keep up to date on what's going on, check out our Twitter. Let's see.
As soon as they make bail and get out of jail,
that's true. Yeah, but that's why we're going to help post bail. That's what we do. We take care of our own. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Must have a criminal record. That's
is that what it is?
Prerequisite.
I don't think that's
true.
I don't think that's true, guys.
Yeah. All right, I'll get out and do crimes.
Right. Yeah, don't do crimes
this whole time,
because then you'll do
I had no idea.
Something like that. Real quick, a couple other things. Mothership on Sunday night. So make sure you come back for that game. We are getting into the thick of the chaos and cosmic terror. And then we'll be back here on Tuesday. We've got New Varden on Monday. And then we've got a special Morkborg game on Wednesday the 15th. Dungeon Mr. Ty is going to be running that. Hanker and Fernell from Runehammer Games. Captain Rouge is going to be playing. Tim, Barely Hanging On, is going to be playing. Myself. It's going to be really, really fun. I'm very, very excited to play the Ides of Morkborg. So make sure you check that out. I've never played Morkborg before, but I'm very, very excited to give it a try and see what happens with that freaking game because it's going to be intense. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm really excited to play in the cult game on Friday, so we'll check it out. Should we give this thing away? Like, we're giving stuff away tonight. We're giving away the yeah, let's go over here. We'll go with this. So here we go. The Forgotten Citadel, you guys. And just as a reminder, it's pretty kick-ass. That's all you need to know. All right, let's do this. Ashley, if you wouldn't mind.
All right, you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Baptized in Pus. Welcome to the channel. First of all, yeah, that's amazing. Are you still here? If you're still here, first of all, I'm scared. And then secondly, congratulations. That's amazing. Baptized in Pus. I don't know if they're in here. Andy, would you hit them up? There we go. Thank you. You won. You here? Baptized in Pus. I don't remember seeing you before. Welcome in. Thanks for being here.
No, I've actually seen that name at least once before.
BIP.
So
we'll just go BIP.
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 Because I remember saying, "Oh wow,
I don't know.
That's a hell of a nickname."
Yeah, right. It is. That's a great handle.
Well, I think Baptized in Pus is.
Yeah, not here.
See him on the list right now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my God! Are you serious?
The fix is in. The fix is in.
Oh my God!
If I had a table, Cardman? I'd throw it.
Cardman, are you here? Golly.
I'd tip it over. I'd pick it up and.
That's freaking amazing.
Cardman's got to have every CZ product.
I don't understand.
Know it,
dude. Cardman,
how does he do it?
Do you run these games with your table? Please tell me that you're running all of these at your table because you've got the whole collection. Congratulations.
He's like,
Cardman.
no, I don't play D&D.
Yeah. Oh my God!
I just play BattleTech.
That is so funny. Thank you all for being part of this. Thanks to CZRPG for giving us the ability to have this fun and have these laughs with our friends. Cardman, we love you. You're the luckiest person we've ever met.
Him on speed dial.
I know, this is fantastic. You guys are great. I really, really appreciate my players being here to play on a weekly basis. And man, what a great episode. I'm excited to see what happens as we get closer to Nulb. And we're going to go ahead and raid into our friends at Dork Tales, give them some of that good old-fashioned Guild Superior love. And we'll see you on, what is it today, Tuesday? We'll see you Thursday for Shade Song.
Wednesday tomorrow for Fangs Mean Blood.
Yeah, Fangs with, yep, that's right. We had a special show tomorrow that I keep forgetting about. I apologize for that. Let's go. Let's go raid. Here we go. Bye-bye.
Raiding.